Um, I think it was mostly traveling back. I feel like I'm missing something huge that happened, but I think it was mostly traveling back, meeting up with everyone, handing off the
It
prisoners.
it was mostly traveling back, handing prisoners off to the Windrunners. We informed the refuge about the Telemon.
Oh, and Ferrovax and Telemon had a thing.
They had a thing. Um, Found out the goblins aren't really too keen on the orcs. Big surprise. Also learned some inconsistencies about their description of the Shadowfell. Um, they compared it to our world, which is kind of weird.
Very nice detail to latch on to.
Oh yeah, I'm thinking about that.
This thing between Ferrovax and Telemon, anyone want to elaborate?
Well, as soon as Telemon came into town, Faravax came up, puffed his chest, and was like, "Fuck you doing on my turf?" And Telemon was like, "All right." And so he knelt down and asked for forgiveness of trespass, offered to pledge himself to protecting the lands, asked to basically be granted guest rights as part of some kind of pact. Was it a pact?
Covenant, I think?
Covenant. That's the one. Covenant.
Yes, you got to witness a giant request guest rights from a dragon in regard using the methodology of a covenant that no one actually understands, but apparently they do. So there's a thing there.
The old shit happening.
And yeah, that pretty much covers the entirety of last game. Traveling to the refuge, you've got your prisoners. Um, Faravax and Telemon made nice, and basically, as evening set in, everyone kind of spread out to do various things throughout the refuge. And this is where I'm going to build a try and build a cohesive timeline of events because a lot of threads happened. So first, Say, let's start with you. What happened to Say in the threads?
Sorry, I have food in my mouth.
All good?
So, kind of peeled off pretty immediately. Didn't want to have communal dinner, didn't, just kind of wanted to not be in the center of a crowd and have to be Say and be the, captain of Valor Company, whatever that is. So Vera was like, "Hey, I know this place that serves moonshine. It's not a tavern, but it's pretty close." So they went to the not a tavern and had moonshine and had several conversations of varying levels of um, depth, importance, sincerity. There's a word in there somewhere that I'm missing.
Intimacy?
Oh, that's a word too.
That sure is a word.
It
Sure is a word.
sure is a
Call
good
you the
word.
fuck out beating around the bush with that shit.
So, Say may not be seen for the rest of the night.
Nice.
Or she may be seen depending on where we go with our timeline of events. But yeah, they essentially went to a hipster cafe to have moonshine. While that was happening, Konane had a conversation with Telemon. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
She did. She learned a bit about giants and dragons. She learned that giants can live for a very long time, and she learned about, was it after the, or before the calamity, things happened between giants and dragons? And they basically agreed to disagree to chill with the little people.
Oh, that was a short thread. Good, I can skim this real quick.
Yeah, it was maybe like 2 pages tops.
So, information that Konane might not think much of right now, but would probably have historical relevance to other interested parties. Yeah, Telemon kind of spoke of a conflict between dragons and giants that doesn't ring a bell. That doesn't sound familiar to what Konane has heard about the Calamity or the Days of Fury or the Golden Age, or all those mythologies don't really mention anything about any of these grand conflicts between dragons and giants. Telemon did mention meeting other dragons before, having some good, some bad encounters with them. Warned her about a particular dragon. And yeah, just kind of relaxed in the lower city while Konane went about securing some food for him.
Yes. So she learned some things that she will probably share with anyone in the party, just offhandedly. She's not gonna like make a point of it. She's gonna be like, "Oh, well, Telemon told me," and everyone's gonna be like, "He told you what?"
Okay. From that pretty much covers initial things as people were going to heading over to dinner. Taliesin, I'm going to come to you last because of reasons. So many of the refugees that you recovered from the mines were pretty much shuffled off to the communal cafeteria where they were able to have some dinner, have some stuff to eat. After that dinner, Alistair had a brief conversation with Elaine.
He did. He finally made good on that few minutes of honest conversation that he was owed after thoroughly trouncing the old man in Mortal Kombat. During that time, he asked Elaine a little bit about the pact in question, but more so about the people in the tiny painting. Who were they? Who was Elaine's party? One by one, he told Alistair about the Dragonborn, Rama, the half-elf Krevon, or elf, Morgan, a strange magician of some kind, Tiefling, thank you, as well as Thelonious Dark, a pirate of some renown. Sounds like a cool guy. Unfortunately, he's dead. And that is related tangentially, I think, to what happened with the gunslingers, what Say was mentioning a couple sessions ago. I might follow up on that. Eventually, he got around to asking about the woman in the photo, Lily. Elaine didn't say much about her, but he said things that mattered. The conversation came to a close with Alistair basically saying, well, whatever, we'll figure it out, and yeah, I want to have you around, whatever this is, I want to have this, and figure out maybe what she wanted me to be and maybe what she wanted you to be. Said good chat and walked off.
Okay. Walked off and bumped into Konane.
Yeah, that happened.
So what happened there?
Yeah, she can afford this one.
Oh, me? Okay.
Yeah, because Alistair's a dumbass.
Alistair
He
is a
sure is.
dumbass. Alistair and Say are twins. They just are twins.
Elaine gets around. Elaine gets around.
Oh no.
Oh no, that's
Oh,
bad.
no. That is bad. So Kanani and Alistair walked and talked for a bit. It was basically, it came down to social things, talking about each other, Kanani getting to know Alistair some more, and her dancing around the issue of, should I tell him?
Yeah,
I
go
shouldn't
for it.
tell him. Maybe. No. Thinking he figured it out, only to be immediately crushed that he didn't. And decided, you know what, it might be better just not to tell him. He's too stupid. And yeah, then they went to the forge and handed off 5 pounds of amethyst to a dwarf, and she's flummoxed.
Bought some time in the craft room to build a brush.
Yes, he's gonna make Kanani a new brush.
It's the one that she has is not left.
And then they're gonna have a sleepover.
Okay. Thank you very much. And I believe that brings us to Taliesin.
All right. Getting this in order. Taliesin went to dinner but didn't get dinner. Stopped by Taro, talked with him to get some insight into possible answers. Didn't really get much. Tried to play it smooth and sneak up behind Mirai and succeeded. At least he believes he succeeded.
Aw.
Filling in
he
details.
got some dinner, ate dinner with her, talked to her, apologized for being pushy and explained where he was coming from, and then she kind of I'm glossing over some details just to get to him.
All good so far?
She finally she agreed to the thing. They found a room. He got her sitting on the bed, made sure he had her full consent, and let her know how he was going to be doing the thing, because he had to cup her face, and that tends to seem kind of intimate. And part of their conversation earlier made it seem like she might be a little bit spicked out. So, but he did it. She suddenly, like, eyes wide open, half shifted her body, was like, "Oh my god, I remember. It was doors. I wasn't supposed to go through doors," and then leapt to the floor, clawed a image into the floor with her hands. She got to say, "It's the city of," and then she passed the fuck out. Taliesin moved her to the bed. He was going to stay there and trance, but then that symbol that she dug in the floor got his attention, and he went down to Taro and tried to be smooth and slick. He's like, "Oh, hey, I remembered this thing." And Taro's like, looks at him, "Right, you remembered this thing. You want to tell me the truth?" He's like, "Well, it's this." Taro still gives him that look. He's like, "Fine, it's this." And explain what had happened upstairs and all that. And then he asked, like, about the situation. Taro's like, "You might want to get a healer, because she might sleep a bit, and there might be more going on." So he had to go wrangle Shepard Drummond. Took Shepard Drummond up. He looked at it and he's like, "She'll probably be okay. I mean, she spent a long time not getting good rest, so she's probably gonna sleep in a bit. But if she sleeps too long tomorrow morning, come and get me, and we'll look at what else we might have to do." At some point in the middle of that, or after that, Taliesin would have gotten cleaned up. He attempted to do figure out washing, but he didn't know what everyone was planning to do for how long they wanted to stay, so he decided against getting his clothes washed by a washer person, and instead is just going to have to put upon one of the people who knows how to use prestidigitation to clean clothing later on. And that's where I will stop.
Taliesin is very concerned about his state of dress.
I mean, he'd like to smell nice for like a day before he has to smell terrible again.
Talking about
Incidentally,
elves don't sweat.
Stinky elf.
incidentally, on the refuge map, I drew the symbol that Mirai scratched into the floor up near the community house. It was a ring pierced by an arrowhead.
You know, if you tilt it on its side, it kind of looks like a crewman with an eye beam.
You are here.
Or it looked like somebody pogging.
Or like someone pogging. A poorly drawn Kenku on the floor.
Okay. So that summarizes all the main events for much of the party. But I do want to address our two more individuals. Jaeger, how did you spend your evening as your party split up to attend to their various tasks in town?
Jaeger would have been hanging with the orcs while talking to the giant. Is a very attractive idea. He had already started up some rapport with the orcs, so he would get to know them a bit more.
Alrighty. So the orcs are all kind of scattered throughout the town, but they have kind of an encampment outside. Heading out to check on them, and basically, there's a lot of little cook fires scattered around, and you're welcome to their campsites. Word of you and Valor Company has spread throughout the orcs, and Drogon himself has kind of spoken in Valor Company's favor to everyone, so it's very easy for you to find a cook fire for you to sit at. Language does prove to be a bit of a barrier, but Jaeger and the orcs kind of have almost a innate understanding just through gestures and stuff. Like you're able to roughly communicate in a way that everyone kind of understands what's going on.
Well, Jaeger has comprehend languages, even though
That helps.
yeah, he can't like speak back, but he can definitely like understand what they're asking.
Also, she did hand off the belt, so for if they're speaking that language, he can pick it up after an hour.
They would not be speaking that particular language. This is very much, essentially, they're speaking orc. No, cat, you're not going to knock my bennies off my desk. Go away.
So I'm gonna mark that off.
I imagine Jaeger would probably use comprehend languages when it seems the most important throughout the night.
Indeed.
And a lot of the experience is just kind of soaking up the orc culture, which is very rustic. They live out of tents. You recognize some signs that remind you of home a little bit, even though your village was sedentary. It was set in place. You did trade with tribes that were nomadic, and the Windrunners very much remind you of those nomadic plains tribes. And you do gain some attention from actually both male and female orcs, as there's a lot of laughing and joking, and with comprehend language, you can hear them kind of ribbing you while you're sitting at the fires with them. It seems like they kind of descend into kind of a show-offy demonstration as they start to wrestle with each other, and this is kind of your time to shine. Let's see here. I imagine Jaeger would want to get in on the festivities.
Oh yeah.
All right, let me have 3 athletics checks. Okay. So in the course of the evening, you kind of move between opponents, and you give a good showing for yourself. Um, the you figure out at first it takes a minute to kind of figure out the rules they play by, but you're able to get a sense of the proceedings very easily. I mean, they're essentially wrestlers when they're doing this in their free time. They like trying to roll around, trying to pin each other, it's very much more physical than um, dexterous. I imagine more like almost like judo and wrestling kind of mixed together.
Hmm.
Um, so you do put on a display. Once you get the hang of it, you start to not only keep pace, but actually start to pin some of the orcs that you were wrestling, and a lot of the laughter then begins to get aimed at the people you were defeating. But then your fatigue starts to catch up with you. You start to have a harder time. Um,
Get lucky for a little bit, and then like these these orcs have been doing this for a while, so they know the ins and outs. They're better at this.
yeah. By the time you've kind of exhausted yourself wrestling, you've uh, you've kind of earned respect in the eyes of the tribe. They're sharing their water with you, um, sharing sharing goat meat with you, um, and a couple have been eyeing you throughout the evening, including some of the ones you were wrestling.
All right, Jaeger's gonna silo himself to a couple of the orc ladies.
Out of curiosity, do you have proficiency in persuasion?
Checking. I do.
Okay.
I have expertise.
Oh boy. So I want you to make a persuasion check, but you can choose whether to use your charisma, your strength, or your constitution.
I'm gonna use strength.
All right, so a strength check plus double your proficiency.
So do I roll strength to just add something to it?
Double
Yeah.
your proficiency.
You came in normal.
Sorry. If it's expertise, you're going to add +8 to a strength check.
Okay. So
You know what? Roll again. I'm going to give you advantage on this because you did spend the evening pretty much rubbing elbows with all of them.
okay.
Alright. All right, so that's a
23?
23.
23. Thank you. 23 is definitely enough to convey to a interested windrunner, male or female, your choice, that you're interested in them in the way that they're interested in you, and you're going to get tugged along to one of the tents for the evening.
Sounds like a great night.
Snoo, snoo.
I was just thinking that.
It's going to be a vigorous night.
Hope your pelvis doesn't break.
It's the reason none of us can leave in the morning.
Jaeger's
Roll a
just
con
walking
check.
sideways.
If you like, Jaeger, you can do a Constitution saving throw.
Hell yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. You're gonna hold your own. You're gonna hold your own. This is a relatively unique experience for you because unlike a lot of hookups that you've had during your travels, this is someone like your size, And you don't need to be gentle. So have a good night.
Oh my.
Jaeger will have a good night.
So Twinkle, what are you up to as all the shenanigans are happening in town around you?
I probably would have done a survey to say who has a healing potion still and who needs healing potions. Because I try to make sure everyone has at least one.
I am not seeing a healing potion in Jaeger's inventory, but that just is probably because reasons.
I know Klinkle probably did this before the group split up, but now
Yeah.
I'm endlessly amused by the idea of Klinkle just going to everyone's little side stuff and being like, "Do you have a healing potion?"
Hey, just checking in. Do you guys have healing potion? All right, that's gonna be 1, 2. Okay, any other requests?
Finds Jaeger wrestling orcs. Hey, do you have protection?
Saving.
Who needs a bottle of not dying?
Maybe Jaeger for tonight.
Kanani has one. She's good.
Alistair does not. I believe he gave his away to, I don't know, probably an elf somewhere. Likely an elf. Probably Eldamri.
All
That's-
right, safe to
that's
say
fine.
that a good number of your party members could probably benefit from some potions.
I will probably spend the evening brewing.
Okay.
I can get
You-
2 done an hour.
You would be given some space in the kitchen to perform this. So you would hear in the... Oh, hello.
Oh, sorry, I was getting rid of the stuff that I got rid of.
Okay.
Nice.
All right, so Klinkle, in the course of the evening, you do hear some commotion, some calming inside the cafeteria as there was at one point where a direwolf was walking through and was given a chain of hot dogs. But you've seen this before. Yeah, you're kind of there to, while brewing your potions, you're able to clock what's going on. No, I don't want the belt of Duergar.
I'm giving it to Jaeger.
I mean,
Interesting. The DM gets a pop-up every time that happens.
Yeah, so you know
I-
what we're doing.
I was gonna
That's
say
fine.
potentially I would compare the belt of Duergar kind to the belt of Dwarven kind, but potentially I'm probably gonna stick with the Dwarven kind one, unless Jaeger wants a chance for beard.
Well, he's already got the Durga time belt.
I don't know if that one does beards.
They do
That's not
not
good.
have the same abilities. So if you guys want to discuss trading belts, that's certainly something you can do.
So what's the belt, Dwarven kind do other than beard?
So the belt of Duergar gives you a +2 to your constitution to a maximum of 20. You have disadvantage on persuasion and charisma checks with dwarves.
No,
That's the Duergar kind.
That's the Duergar.
Yeah, he asked what the dwarven kind
The
does.
Dwarven belt does +2 con up to 20. You had an advantage on charisma checks, persuasion made to interact with dwarves.
And they both should have certain resistances.
You have advantage on saving throws against poison. You have resistance against poison damage. You have dark vision to a range of 60 feet. You can speak, read, and write Dwarvish.
Checking, that should not be one of his languages. It is not. No, it actually seems like that would be a better deal.
In addition, while attuned to the belt, you have a 50% chance each day at dawn of growing a full beard if you are capable of growing one, or a visibly thicker beard if you already have one.
Which is why Klinkle has a very thick ruff under her beak.
Beard bird, beard bird.
Yeah, no, the dwarven kind is pretty. You know what? I'm gonna keep this one for. I'm gonna keep dwarven kind for now.
I was gonna say the resistance against poisons kind of makes thematic sense with the bird making poisons.
Just in case something
Checks
goes
out.
wrong.
Checks out.
Resistance against psychic damage is cool too. Yeah.
All right. Klinkle, as mentioned, you kind of clock how the travelers of the refuge handle the refugees from the mine, which is basically feed them, clothe them, give them a bed to rest in. And it doesn't take much before everyone kind of gets settled in for the night. A lot of people go to bed late when they do go to bed. Excuse me. And I believe that pretty much covers the evening in the refuge.
Very fast dusk.
So I believe that is going to take us to the morning of the next day. So, general information as the refuge begins to stir and people start to wake up. Generally speaking, Valor Company would have some rooms up in the communal hall. Maybe one or two. I think each room has several cots. I forget how many. I know I said somewhere how many cots were in the rooms up there. But basically, if you haven't been invited to stay in someone's house, you have room with cots up there.
Wonderful.
Taro ended up spending the evening in the cafeteria with some books because his sister kicked him out of their room. For reasons.
Yeah. I mean, rebels are weird and gross, so if you got room, take room.
Sure.
That is what Alistair thinks probably as he comes down to breakfast and Taro's still there.
I've heard about families, I've heard about siblings. It's what they do. Supposedly. I imagine. What? Yeah.
So Taliesin is in the cafeteria as some of the travelers begin to prepare breakfast for the day. Taliesin, as you were trancing and keeping watch over Mirai, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
So as of the morning, she still has not woken up. She does not appear to be in any distress, but she remains sleeping at this moment in time.
Okay, I will burn one of my wild shapes to bring back Cthulhu as a weasel. And I give him the same instructions as I did the night before. Just keep an eye on the door. Don't let anyone in. And if someone bursts in, tell me telepathically, and I'll be there in a second. And once he's
Do you allow any exceptions in regards to your instructions against people?
Like if someone knocks, it's fine. If it's a party member stepping in, it's fine. But if it looks, kind of sketchy, get my attention, kind of thing.
Okay, hinging this on what a phase spirit defines as sketchy.
I mean, they're pretty good at sketchy shit. They know what sketchy shit is.
Okay. Do you head out to the cafeteria to join everyone for breakfast?
Yeah, I head down for breakfast.
Okay. So, the scattered party members. Which one of y'all is showing up for breakfast at 7 in the morning?
Monster would probably show up.
After all that wrestling, and Jaeger would probably miss breakfast.
Alistair's waking up. Kanana's probably waking up. She doesn't want to. She's actually a bit hesitant. But with some encouragement, she comes out in her hybrid form.
Let me ask, how early do the orcs usually get out?
I would say they're a nomadic people, so they were probably up at 6.
Okay, in that case, Jaeger would be at breakfast.
Yeah, your evening partner probably woke up, thought you looked cute sleeping, and then roughly woke you up. So you had
Hell yeah.
a very abrupt awakening. It doesn't seem like sleeping in their culture is very common. And if you tried to get a few minutes more rest, then she would start investigating to see if you were broken. So you make it to breakfast.
Very nice.
I think for Say, it really depends on Vera, so.
Vera very much enjoys sleeping in.
Say does not make it to breakfast.
Okay, so Valor Company, you gather for breakfast, -1 Say. I would say Elaine would probably wander in, drawn by the scent of food cooking in the kitchen. And you all even catch sight of Shepard Drummond humming as he helps some of the cooks in the kitchen prepare the breakfast for pretty much everyone.
Do I smell waffles?
Small waffles.
There are Shepard Drummond's famous waffles being made.
They're famous.
Okay.
How are they famous? I've never heard of them.
He prepared waffles for everyone on your first arrival into the refuge.
Whereabouts are
Oh, okay, that's why they're famous.
Yep, and he insisted
Yeah,
that
but he
people
insisted
stop
that
and
people
eat food
stop
rather
and
than
eat
keep
food
talking.
rather than keep talking.
Oh yeah, he was very insistent about that. Can we move tokens so that I can see who is where?
Yeah, if you like.
Cool.
Fly, my children.
Fun fact: if you hold Alt, you will move instantly.
But I wanted to see Kanani fly across.
You will have that spell soon.
Where's the
okay.
cafeteria?
It's all the way to the top,
Across?
opposite Paravax.
Yeah, across from Fairfax.
I'm just gonna say that probably is the communal area, but I don't know.
Yeah, that building is kind of the the refuge town hall, and it's where they have all their communal facilities. Faravax, meanwhile, is curled up on a nest of rock and scavenged debris from the lower city. He's got his back up against the wall with his tail curled up around him and his head on his front legs, and every time someone moves across the opening up here, he just kind of cracks open one eye to watch them, but never stirs.
I'm going to wave. Good morning!
Slitted Eye just follows you as you head to the communal hall.
Good.
He's
Now
very
he's
watchful.
Delilah.
Oh no! Being friendly is almost as good as respect, right?
Depends who you're being friendly towards. All right, well, Valor Company, you are gathered.
Gathered for breakfast? Alright, so, what's on today's agenda? Where is... Oh, we're missing one. Is Taliesin present, or is Taliesin
I'm
still
there.
in wolf
Oh,
form?
I'm there.
No, I'm not in wolf form.
No, I'm not Wolford.
Okay.
I'm just there,
I'm just there
waiting
Waiting.
for food to be ready.
for the food to be ready.
She's gonna scratch behind his head. Tally, have you seen Say anywhere? Do we know where she is?
I told you she was
I
with
know-
your girlfriend.
I know.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain.
Yeah,
I know
I'm
who she's
fairly certain I
with.
know who she's with.
Where?
Where?
I couldn't tell.
I couldn't tell you.
We have earrings to contact her if we really want to serve her.
If she's close enough.
She wouldn't have left the town.
I mean, 500 feet.
500 feet, but I mean, does anyone want to
pull a joke?
pull a joke?
Like, I don't know.
Jaeger taps his earring. Say, are you nearby and awake?
Am I within 500 feet? I don't know if I'm that far away.
You're definitely within 500 feet. Because Vera and Taro's room is in the communal hall, since they don't have any other stuff over there. Places to stay in the village, and that's why Taro got kicked out. So you're actually in the same building, just in a different location.
Yeah, I'm looking at the distance. It's not even 300 feet.
Yeah.
You're actually in there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Somewhere.
She's
Yeah,
probably not too far
from where Taliesin was last night.
I'm here. I am here.
And Faith?
And what?
Safe. Awake, perhaps that could be the question I'm asking?
Awake is a strong word. Safe, yes. Very much so.
Okay. Some of us just wanted to make sure you were well and cognizant and not broken in half.
No, I have not been broken in half.
Okay, I'll leave you to it. We're having breakfast if you can muster up enough energy to join us. If not, that's fine too.
I'll be there in a bit.
I'm actually getting a lot of sleepy, snarky comments from Vera.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, so you'll get dressed and head over.
Oh,
Did I see?
Did I see Alistair and Konane walking in together?
probably.
Yeah.
In Sylvan, because I know that the boy doesn't know it. I look across at Konane and I just say, "Did you tell him?"
Tell him what? She'll speak back and solve him.
I raise my eyebrow, and I'll say, the thing that you thought I was teasing you about.
Why would I tell him that?
I don't know. Why would you walk in together like this?
Because we are friends.
Inside joke.
Inside joke. Eleven.
What do I roll to contest that? But anyway, it's a nat 20.
Okay, so there's one in the pool, and yeah, Taliesin, they're friends. I mean, how many times have you all woken up and just hung out? It's perfectly normal.
If you say
so.
That seems contrary to what you were hoping for, maybe.
Kanane just shakes her head and shrugs at him. Basically pretending the conversation.
My heart.
Yeah, Taliesin, it looks like she gave up on him.
I would say,
I'll shrug. I'll say,
what a shame.
What a shame.
thought you would have been cute together.
The best part of being in her hybrid form is that she can blush and no one can see it.
Yep.
Alistair's gonna sidle up next to Jaeger. Doctor, one of these days you need to teach me giant so we can start having secret conversations too.
I do not want to have secret conversations. Taliesin just insists on it.
Don't worry, we'll have a secret conversation competition to see who has the most secret conversation of them all.
Layers upon layers of secrets.
Sometimes it's nice to speak to just one person at a time and not, have everyone in everyone else's business.
I am glad you find me that important, Taliesin.
I'll nod.
As your tokens are spinning.
As they twirl around,
waiting.
Alright then. Keep your secrets. I'm gonna have waffles.
There's
I think
waffles.
Waffles are better than secrets.
Oh, if food's already here, just imagine all of that through the filter of whoop, 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 whoop.
There's scones and goat milk.
This is like a Lior breakfast. It's all starch. And fat.
Oh, is that goat cheese? And then Say is just gonna sit down like this is a completely normal situation.
There's goat cheese and there's butter and there's jam and there's sausage and there's I don't think it's bacon, it's too fat. It's meat!
All very true.
Indiscernible meat. That is exactly what I wanted to have for breakfast today.
I will pull out the link.
Or speaking of today,
I would pull out the chain of sausages.
I'm gonna pull out a chain of sausages, just like 5 sausages.
And I'm just gonna take a bite
out of one of the ends.
You do have a personal chain of sausage.
a whole link, like a noodle.
What? You know what? I think everyone had interesting nights. I'm just going to leave that at that and not ask you about a chain of sausages.
Well, I mean,
You know what? And I
could change you into a dire wolf.
I could change you into a dire wolf, and you could ask nicely.
I'm all set.
Imagine her hair is hard enough to brush as it is.
What was that?
I will laugh.
I will laugh and I'll nod.
Yeah, Say's actually wearing her hair down. It's braided, but it's still down.
Unbrushed
still?
I mean, it got brushed.
What did you say, Jaeger?
Vera's not here, is she?
Not yet.
Nope.
But I was sleep in. It's that whole sunlight sensitivity thing. I'm sure of this.
Right, I am a little hungover, so I'm going to take some of the mystery meat.
I love it. What did you drink?
Moonshine.
Why did you not fair?
There's moonshine?
I
Not
shed.
that I don't care, I just didn't think it was moonshine.
Spicy apple juice.
Did Alistair just ask what moonshine was?
No, he knows what moonshine is. He just didn't know that there was moonshine, but not that he cares. He just didn't think it was here.
Well, no, it was one of the, like I heard half of that. Like
Oh, I gotta be my mic closer to my face.
maybe.
I'm mumbling. Sorry.
You didn't share with me, and it doesn't count.
I feel like you were otherwise occupied.
Fair. At least you'll have to fill me this moonshine depository.
I will take you to the cafe.
Thank you.
Speaking of cafes and plans and things happening, we've got yet another thing that's been dropped on our lap. There's Telebon's castle. There's the prison thing. The portal.
The portal's on the way.
portal's on the way to
Like, right, portal is on the way to the castle. When do we plan on shoving off? The town seems pretty well defended. There are still a few things around the perimeter that they're still building up, but they've got the Windrunners and the whole union of goblins. And, you know, a dragon. Can't forget that.
Well, we had that thing that Elaine was arranging for us to possibly get more information on other relics.
Right, some kind of communion.
Have you decided what we're doing with the Durica?
I have handed them over to the Windrunners, and the Windrunners will be taking care of them.
This seems to make sense to me. I mean, they've got more experience with them. And I expect that they won't have any qualms about keeping them in check. So you don't have to make one of the refuge travelers a jailer. So I think it does work out. So shall we ask Elaine about that communion thing today?
I think so.
Alright.
I think he's over there.
He is actually seated with Taro, munching on a stone and looking over Taro's shoulder as Taro is pointing some stuff out into one of the books that he was reading.
Oh, so he is. Alright then. That's just one thing.
I am out of bullets, and I will need to get that taken care of.
Alright. It's definitely a thing to do.
And I think I was going to try and make those tracer rounds.
We could definitely get that done today. It'll take most of the day, though.
Of note,
I
Talus.
wouldn't mind,
Oh, sorry, go on.
Sorry, go on.
I wouldn't mind spending another day here. Alistair kind of shrugs. He looks around.
Taliesin looks around.
Taliesin looks around.
One thing I didn't know, he's actually
is
Mareki
travel clothes.
So he's got most of them.
He's got the puffy white shirt and the black pants on.
And he looks to his bag and he looks
around.
I
could really use a clean set of the normal travel clothes if someone could help with that. The people here, when I checked last night, weren't going to be able to finish until this evening or later. And I didn't know we might be staying this long. So,
if you are open to it, I do have some relics from older battles that I can put towards your clothes.
I wiggle my fingers. I meant just, getting what I have clean.
I think we all could use some clean laundry. Maybe we should make it part of the day's activities. Get our extra clothes laundered. Unless we plan to leave at nightfall, which is, I suppose, doable.
Terrible plan.
That's a terrible idea.
That's a terrible idea.
I mean, we can all see in the dark. Alistair pulls his goggles down. With a little bit of help.
Yes, but it also means that we can't see
as far. And
creatures that are more adept at night. Possibly in the area hunting.
And another day in beds might not be a terrible thing.
You know, I don't disagree. I've got a little bit of, I'll tell you, I've got saddle sores and I haven't been riding anything. Not sure where they came from.
Taliesin eyes
Konami suspiciously.
Say does not make eye contact.
Of crowd. So maybe we should get our things together, and still early in the day, we could contact some wanderers, maybe grease some palms, see if they can get our stuff done by the evening, or at the very least by early tomorrow.
I do know of some hot springs that are not too far of a hike away as a reward for once we finish all our chores.
Use a soak. Gonna lean up against Jaeger, like head on his pectoral. I could really use a soak.
Jaeger pats Alistair on the head.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you.
Fair enough. I think we all can use a true folk. It's been a while.
We'll get it done. I'll contact the old man. We can stuff our faces and see how much blood we need to draw to summon whoever this entity is. And see about getting tracers, and see about getting laundered, and maybe have a bath. And then tomorrow we can, let's Taliesin. And first see if we can get any information about that portal. Beyond the whole, half-demon things running the show. And tackle that tomorrow. Yeah?
Yep.
Yep.
We'll leave bright and early.
We leave bright and early, that'd be best.
Alright. Okay. Good. Go team! He's gonna get up, pat down the doctor, and Al's just going to make his way toward Elaine while others converse.
In Sylvan really quick, Taliesin.
Sylvan really quick,
says to
Taliesin says to Konami.
Salazar's
Friends.
What?
What?
I do not know what you are talking about. He does sleep funny.
Just open mouth.
Open
and
mouth,
then close,
and then close,
and then just shaking head.
And going back to eating.
I think the Taliesin keeps making insight checks on the 20 charisma character.
I just let the last go through
because there's no point.
One day he's going to get a 20.
One day he will
Someday.
get a 20.
Someday.
All right, you head over to Elaine, who looks up as you approach and holds up one of the scones he was eating. Have you tried one of these?
Gotta take the
They
scone
are
from him.
very quite good.
Oh, he's offering it, right?
Do you go to take it?
I go to take it.
He draws his hand. No, this one's mine.
Oh, well, I see how it is.
There's more right at the table. There's plenty.
Yeah, but I want yours.
Why would you want mine?
You owe me.
He squints at you.
Go on, keep your scones. Am I interrupting Sage things? Hello, Taro. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Alistair. No, you are not interrupted.
That's good news. Do you mind if I take him for a moment? Or actually, and I'll just get
By
up
all
and pop
means,
down.
you are welcome to take him.
I'm going to sit next to Elaine. No, don't worry, but I'll actually bother both of you. Place my hand on Elaine's shoulder.
Poor Tara.
Poor Taro. Poor Taro. So, we were thinking about that thing you mentioned, about speaking with the man himself.
Elaine promptly starts choking and coughing on his scone. Kind of pounds his chest a little bit, grabs his glass of goat milk, and chugs it down.
You okay? You choking? Did we take you somewhere?
Right. That. Sure. Yes. What were you saying?
Oh, you looked like you were choking, perhaps to death. I was offering
Fine.
to pull you away.
What?
Anyway, I pat him on the back. So we're planning on perhaps working with you on that bright and early, and then doing things that are maybe useful throughout the day before going to take on the portal run by demon orc men. Tanaric? Not Telemon, different T name. I think it was Tanaric. So, that's tomorrow, but today we're doing some prep. Maybe after breakfast?
We could,
I mean-
but honestly, the ritual would have a better chance of success if it was to be done at nightfall.
Nightfall. Okay, well, I'll see if I can pencil that in. No promises, but I'll touch base.
All right. Keep me posted, I suppose.
All right, good chat. Taro, good chat. Nice to see you. Keep doing what you're doing.
Of
Oh, hey,
course.
does Vera like glitter?
Elaine blinks and Taro arches an eyebrow. I feel like you've asked this question already.
Oh, possibly. Okay, cool, good chat. I'm gonna step up and make my way back to the Valor Company table.
So as a point of order,
it was said out loud over the thing, and
Taro said
most with a happy tone. Why yes, he does.
Mm-hmm. Player simply forgot.
Oh yeah,
Which is
cool.
fine in
Oh, yeah,
character.
Perfectly in character for Alistair, for sure. He's a fucking idiot.
I mean, it
Yeah.
doesn't matter. Some people.
It doesn't matter. Some people failed their insight checks and actually thought it was a good idea. So
It's a great idea. It's a great idea. Taro just confirmed it's a great idea. So Alistair will make his way back to Valor Company table, pop a seat back next to the doctor. Okay, so ritual thing. Choked half to death. I don't know what's up with that. He says it'd be better done at nightfall. So
Nightfall as in
nightfall
just
as
the
in
sun
just
setting or
setting or sun's fully down and it's night.
Which level of nightfall are we
Which
talking?
level
You know-
of nightfall are we talking?
you know, wrangling an answer out of him is like pulling teeth, cat teeth, herding cats and then pulling your
Would
teeth.
you like me to go put him in a headlock until he gives us a correct answer?
No, he would like that too much. Maybe
Do
stick on his foot.
I
recall if
Elaine
Elaine
speaks
speaks
Sylvan?
Sylvan?
I think he does, right?
I think he does, right?
1 second. I believe he does. Yes, he does.
I shout across. The room
I
at
shout
Sylvan,
across the room in Sylvan.
What the fuck do you
What
mean
the fuck do you mean nightfall by? Sunset?
Sun all gone.
Sun all gone?
Dark skies.
Moon up?
We need this answer. It's
We
important.
need this answer. It's important.
Elaine pauses and looks across the room and replies in Sylvan. Nightfall, when night is falling, sunset. Come on.
Thank you.
Thank
That's-
You
you.
know these things.
That's
They mean different
they
things
mean
to
different things to different people.
Nightfall could be night has
Nightfall
fallen.
could be
or
night has fallen,
night is
or nightfall
falling.
night is falling.
It's a
It's a
double
it's a
state
dou-
thing, but
Double
fine.
state thing, but
Thank
fine.
you.
Thank you.
And I'll turn over.
And I'll turn over
to
Alistair, and I'll speak in common.
He
He means when the sun is setting, but he's very obtuse about it.
That's what I just said. That's what I just said. Herding cats and pulling their teeth.
Jaeger leans forward. This is why people think you're having secret conversations. You could have asked that in common.
Yes, but
then it wouldn't have been as fun.
I swear, listening to Sylvan this early in the morning is like having a stroke.
When all the upper planes and lower planes of this man form a party of people and have coherent relationships with them, I don't understand.
Maybe he didn't.
Oh yeah, maybe that's why it fell apart. Anyway,
I assume he's just like
I
you.
assume
and
he's
started
just
off,
like you and started off cute and,
you know, world
happy.
I don't know.
Oh,
the
goodness
right-
me. If I end
know
up like
the right
him,
word for it.
if I end up like him, you blow my face off and say you follow up with a second shot.
And then I'll reincarnate.
And then I'll reincarnate you. It'll be great.
I
You can come
I
up.
would rather you didn't.
You could come back as a bugbear.
Oh, delightful! I've always wanted chin hair.
Or no.
Or no.
Or
You're
Or
a
Konane, you
like
never know.
Konane, you never know.
you're a human. You could just grow chin hair.
He cannot grow to me.
Really? Tell that to my chin. I don't think it's woken up yet.
I think he has one. I have counted one. It's right there, and she points on his chin.
I just flail and slappy hands at her.
Maybe he should wear
wear the belt that Kunane's been wearing.
Klinkle.
Klinkle.
Sorry, I didn't mean Klingle.
Sorry, I did mean Klinkle. Sorry.
There's nothing in the rules that says the beard falls off when you stop wearing the belt.
Oh my. I'll consider it. I don't know, I suppose the baby smooth aspect does give me some unassuming tenacity.
It does make you an excellent interrogator.
The best, really.
I also gotta say, when Say made the comment about Sylvan in the morning, I almost piped up, well, at least not, and said something in Primordial.
Oh, jeez.
Language of the earth. Alright, then I think I'm going to go start setting aside clothes to get laundered. Maybe get a separate bag to put all the non-laundered clothes in and hand those off. And...
Right, I think I might hit the... If we hit the blacksmith early, we can finish all the dirty, gross work, then get our clothes laundered?
That works.
Feels like either way we'll be changing into clothes that are clean when we're not clean. I don't know.
Allison looks over. Speak for yourself.
Alistair just shrugs. That's the price of working with your hands. It's messy.
So it looks like current plan is Say and Alistair would like to hit the blacksmith early.
Yes.
That's for me.
Okay. What's everyone else feeling like they should get up to this morning?
Mischief.
Is there a clothier or jeweler? Actually, Jaeger, I have to look at my stuff again.
All right. Fair to say, with the refuge, it's such a small town. There's not an official like jeweler or clothier or something. From what you've learned from speaking with Felix and the other travelers, is that a lot of their needs is communal given. Like someone will run something out of their house, and that's the person you see if you want jewels. Actually, when Alistair handed over the bag of amethyst, the dwarf that he was speaking to had referenced trading it to one of the other people in town for some kind of good or service. So, and as for clothiers, you've noticed all the travelers tend to wear just simple clothing with green cloaks.
Because I'm looking at the stuff Jaeger just like has in the bag and such. Just got a few things, like pieces of hide and beads and claws that if somebody can use for a thing, now would be the time to dump and start converting. A wyvern stinger, that's got to be worth something.
Most of the people here would not even know what a wyvern is. Actually, Jaeger, are you going to make it kind of your goal to go through some of these things and learn how to offload and trade them away?
Offload trade, if he can make a cool necklace for one of his party members, maybe Kanane, because she would look cool, more feral, stuff like that, then he would do that. But the rest of it, yeah.
She already has a necklace.
Yeah, but does it have 16 wyvern teeth, 6 claws, and 1 stinger?
No, it's your dead grandmother's.
It's not quite the same.
It's got
Of that,
sentimental
it's
value.
true.
One is more frightening than the other.
And it's not the one you think.
It's not the one you think. But
I
that's
don't
what
know what her
bracelets are for.
grandmother was like.
Anklets. That's what anklets are for.
Okay.
Actually, Jaeger, if you're talking about jewelry, I wouldn't mind like a cloak clasp thing with some wyvern teeth on it. That would be pretty cool.
All right. 16 wyvern teeth, 6 claws, 1 stinger, 5 sets of wolf fangs, 2 owl bear beaks, 2 pieces of owl bear hide.
Oh, there's a lot in there.
Yes, time to trade and offload. Make some space.
Okay.
Yeah, some of this stuff was used for Jaeger's own cloak.
Pop the list in chat.
Okay.
That way the DM can go over it one by one throughout the game.
Sorry, hold on 1 second. My chair is making a really irritating squeaking sound every time I move it.
Spit on it. Oh, and there are 2 Durga daggers streaked with the color that Jaeger wants to see if he can identify small eye.
Much better.
Welcome back. Alright, there's also 2 Durga daggers. I have quote unquote steel streaked with color that's not red that Jaeger would like to see what that is.
Okay, make a note of that in the chat like you did with the others, and we'll use that as kind of a to-do list. All right, I'm going to circle back to you and the miners, not miners, crafters in a second. Taliesin and Klinkle, what are your guys' plans for the morning?
Well,
I would grab some food, some extra breakfast stuff, and I would actually take it back upstairs to the room and set it beside the bed and
check in on
Mariah and see if she seems like she's still just like really out, or if she looks like she's stirring to wake up a bit.
Okay. I'll circle back to you in a second. And Klinkle.
Okay. Hefty breakfast, people watching. I assume that I got most of my potion brewing done last night.
Yeah, you wouldn't have any interruptions, so if you could work with Rob to knock out any supplies that you end up spending. Otherwise, yeah, you have enough time to do what you want.
That said, if I had extra time to like fill in the blanks because he can't break down an hour's worth of work, might as well brew a couple for the refuge too.
Oh, interesting. All right. Brewing some health potions for everyone who needs it.
Especially if they have supplies to contribute.
All right. Okay. There's I've got I know what is going on now. All right, Klinkle, I'll resolve you real quick because after speaking with Shepherd Drummond, he is able to send a runner out to speak with some of the herbalists in the village and some of the people who are known for their green thumbs in their gardens, and they will accumulate some supplies to help craft these potions. So you can go ahead and get started on those. He then leaves you to your breakfast and your crafting as he heads upstairs to find Taliesin with Mirai. Taliesin Mirai does still seem to be thoroughly asleep, and Shepherd Drummond kind of shuffles in and moves over to her, starts, checking on her eyes, checking her pulse, looking her over. Well, the good news is I think she's getting a thorough night's rest. She does not seem to be in any pain. She does not seem to be stirring. That's good. Very restful, very restful. Eyes dilating, yes. That's good. I'll spend some time with her today to see if there's anything magical at work here, but she seems to be very peaceful at the moment.
Okay. Thank you. Is there a place that I could, like, I know there are washers. Is there like extra washing things that I could just wash my own things, maybe?
Oh, you'll have to argue with the washerwomen and their families for that. They're very protective of their pool, but it's actually down. There's a pond just outside the city, a little bit to the. And he kind of he licks his claw, holds it up, and turns and points in a direction. Yes, westward, that way.
Okay, thank you.
Of course, of course. I am at your disposal. Everyone's disposal. There are a lot of exhausted people.
Yes, there are. Hopefully she wakes up before the food goes bad, but if she hasn't woken up, don't throw it away. I'll end up eating it anyways. And just get something fresh for her when she does wake up. But if she wakes up soon, I got that up here for her. So.
Of course, you will be the first person I tell, if I can find you.
Thank you.
You are very welcome. And the old Dragonborn continues to do a few smaller tests on Mirai. You see him kind of like waggle his claws over her face, and you feel kind of a faint stirring in the air as he uses his magic just to kind of get a sense of what's going on before you depart. All right. Say Alistair and Jaeger and likely Konane, because Konane likes to tag along with all the crafters. Alistair, you lead the way back to the smithy where you spent some of the night crafting your special brush with your companions in tow. You see this morning the doors are open. Eloise the dwarf is awake and actually dressed for work as she moves about the forges, kind of stirring stuff up. You can see there's one or two other apprentices there as well, kind of getting everything established in the morning. There's one fire going already. And as you and the party approaches, you see coming down the stairs that lead to the second floor is the Dragonborn you rescued from the mines. Red-scaled with black horns on her head, clad in proper traveler wear and a leather smock with a big tankard that she is sipping from. And as you approach, she lifts the tankard in a little salute. Well, if it's the heroes of the hour. Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
It's nice to see you in better environs. You look like you're in your element.
I am happy to get back to normal. I need to shape these ones up. It seems they've gotten a little lax in my absence. And she kind of squints over at her apprentices, who immediately bustle about with more vigor. Honestly, you get captured for just a few days.
Well, when the cat's away, the mice will play. So I've been told.
You hear that, my little mice? Get back to work.
I think I like this one. It's kind of nudge Say a little bit. She's spicy.
She reminds me of some of my instructors.
Oh yeah, yeah.
She sips at her tankard, and you catch the smell of some kind of really strong tea. Coffee isn't really available this high up, but they've got some caffeinated teas. Right, so what brings you to my forge this early in the morning?
I'd like to borrow a few more hours.
I think you've earned that.
Oh, good, because I'm all out of things to barter.
Are you sure?
I just pat myself down. I give my bag a shake, which looks empty by all accounts.
A pity. Our neighbor's going to be very happy with all that amethyst you donated.
I hope they make something very good with it. You all see it. I've made everything that I planned to make with it.
Right, well, you seem to know your way around a smithy, so... And she gestures with her free hand. Have at it.
Oh, okay, one of the place. Fantastic. Alistair's gonna crack his knuckles. This seems like the first time that we've been told to just fucking go for it.
Right?
Without having people hovering over our shoulders, telling us not to break things.
I feel like Say and Alistair both have matching looks of, oh god, we have control of this place.
Fantastic. I need to get some accelerant.
I have plenty of accelerant.
And I'm going to set aside time to work with Say to get those tracers done first. And I think I have a write-up on those somewhere.
Yes.
Perfect.
I think Say is also going to spend some time working on her rifle.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Alrighty, so between the two of you, you can figure out how much time you spend working together, since that does affect crafting time. And how much time you spend working alone if you choose to work alone. As as you know and you quickly find out, Alistair is very adept at making things very quickly.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So, out of character, in regards to your rifle, if you choose to have Alistair take the lead in crafting, you can benefit from his, basically his abilities.
Yeah, so that's the thing, isn't it? It's because even if I tell him how it works, I can't be very obvious that he knows how it works. So I think
Very true.
Um,
Well, with Alistair, I would say, based on what you've communicated with him, what you've shown and shared, and what you know about building your guns, you're fairly certain he doesn't know the mixture for black powder. And the mechanics of the rifle means that you could craft it in pieces and assemble it together yourself. You might figure out how everything fits together, but
yeah.
The secret of black powder still remains a secret.
Yeah, I think that's where I was gonna go, is that getting at least the pieces, like the rifle barrel and the tricky bits, stock.
Yeah.
Trust level has increased.
Slowly but surely.
Yes, yes.
I want bad news so much.
I mean, we can make that happen. It might not be bad news, but it might be bad news. Anyway, do you want
Anyway.
to tackle the rifle first?
Bullets first. I am out of
Bullets
like all
first,
my
so-
bullets, so I think she'll
So-
do a warm up round of shatter points and, shatter points and rebuttal bullets.
Okay, so the two of you can work out how much time you want to spend on your projects, now that you know what you're focusing on.
So,
Go ahead.
I was going to say for the tracer shots, it's going to be 100 gold to make, and Say and Alistair working together can make it done in 4 hours. The number of bullets is the question that I'm trying to find. I think it was 25, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm trying to look and see because I have bullet molds. I don't know how many they make though. They seem to not be in my stuff anymore.
Good question. I feel like
A callback to the forms as well. They did mention they needed nails. So.
Do you need nails?
Yeah.
in regards to the nails, those are things Alistair can make with scrap metal very easily. So if you want to just say that during your crafting process you use your scrap metal to
pour off some nails, yeah.
Yeah. Some hammers, some screwdrivers, what have you.
Because I'm pretty sure it was 12. I get 12 bullets per mold.
12,
that makes a lot more sense than 25.
Yeah, 12 feels correct. That was how much I was thinking to myself. Alright, 12 tracer rounds. Alright, Jaeger, you're also at the smithy with them.
Yeah.
So there are some metal daggers that you're curious about, and you would know that the best place to investigate that would probably be at the smithy.
Yeah, indeed. I can't find it, but I was pretty sure Jaeger had like. There we go, Smith's tools. So he can definitely. He knows smithing, but it's always. He doesn't know what this is. Metal from this area. Maybe this smith will be able to help.
Yeah, so you approach Forge Master Vada and kind of bring up the issue with the daggers, and you both kind of look it over, and while Say and Alistair get to their crafting, you and Vada start to melt down one of the daggers and take some samples to see what you can discern. So over the course of about, let's say, an hour with one of these daggers, you determine that the metal does seem to be steel. It seems to react the same way. You can melt and forge it the same way. As far as Vada is aware, like, this is acting just like steel. It's just that there seems to be this impurity that runs throughout the entire metal that she can't isolate. It doesn't seem to weaken the metal at all, but it just seems like this particular metal, even when it's melted down, contains streaks of this off-color gray. So by the end of the session with her, you kind of determine it looks like this is just the nature of the metal crafted from the world that the Duergar come from. You do remember the weapons that were streaked with red that were said to be marked by ruin in some way. So give me a... what kind of check? Are you proficient in insight?
I am not.
Okay, give me a straight intelligence check. Wow.
Nat 20.
Natural 20. All right, tune the point. So putting together everything that you've read in your introduction to Magic book, everything you've heard Alistair talk about, everything you've seen and experienced, you form a reasonable hypothesis that this impurity seems to be, it's natural to the metal, but it seems to be what allows Ruin to enchant metal with whatever power she uses to create the effects that you still don't fully understand, but you remember some of the visions. It seems like by adding her magic to metal forged from the Shadowfell, as far as you're aware of the Shadowfell, she's able to imbue those weapons with a piece of herself and send it out into the world. These weapons, because they are not red, have not been enchanted in that way.
So it follows that if someone else enchanted them, this color would be a different color. Maybe that's something he can get Alistair to look at if he wanted another project on his pile of projects.
Screwing around with foreign magic, hell yeah.
Well, not so much foreign, it's just like, here's this thing that's primed for it. These things gain a certain color. Maybe this specific metal is better for taking influence like that.
Yeah, you pitch this to Alistair with the idea that it might be that this natural metal might be more susceptible to magic than metal of your world.
And maybe you can put lightning magic in it and it'll glow yellow. And then you can stab someone and electrocute them at the same time. Wouldn't that be something?
That would be something. Put the blade over. Oftentimes, at least with artifice and some wizardry, when you go about the process of making a magical item, magical weapon, magical rod, whatever, you start by taking the base materials and priming them. The regular smith, after they have made their creation, it's considered work hard, not just physically, but also magically. With artifice, you have to take a few extra steps before smelting and melting and creating the base shape. To that extent, the beginnings of the magical crafting process are the most important. That's what makes it etherically malleable. It's more prone to accepting magical influence, more so than the final project of your everyday average smith. That's why, typically speaking, it gets a little bit frustrating when someone brings you a sword and says, "Hey, can you put some magic on this?" It's like, no, sorry, I actually can't. I'd have to smelt it down. I'd have to redo the hafts, maybe even get new wood. I am rambling. That might be possible with this. I have no idea, but I am excited to try.
Jaeger hands. I will keep this until such time that you're ready to play with this. I am fully willing to let you try this.
I'm just gonna give Jaeger a pair of finger guns.
It'd be funny. A dagger that every time you stab someone, you could misty step across the battlefield.
There are so many things you can do with this dagger. You can stab someone and have fireball attached to it.
And wouldn't you blow yourself up?
No, just them.
Or a small fireball.
You can throw the dagger and it would explode.
Incidentally, you should probably rename one of those daggers Melted Down Duergar Dagger.
Duergar ingot.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, ingot of Shadowfell steel.
Ooh. That's got some stank on it. I like that.
Konane, while all this is happening, you do know there is a cozy little area adjacent to the forge that gives you a view of the forge.
Oh yeah.
If you would like to recline.
Yeah, she's gonna cozy up and maybe if whoever isn't working, maybe offer some readings to the dwarves, and not the ones that need to be worked
It seems with Vada back in charge, all of the apprentices are being put to work.
And she'll just, if nobody offers, she'll just shuffle her deck and idly go through her cards.
And she's still in her hybrid form?
Yes.
That earns some look, but by and large, the travelers of the refuge seem to be just very accepting. Life is weird. Roll with it.
They're used to this shit.
In some respects.
They're used to some of this shit.
Alright. Circling back to Taliesin. So you head out to the washing pond to see about getting your clothes washed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'd go there and
I'd actually offer like if you just have the stuff,
I can sit beside you guys and
wash.
If
If you want to talk, we can talk. If you don't want to talk, we don't have to.
So when you get there, and it's not very far away, it's like once you walk outside of town, it's like a 10-minute walk. You see there is a stream that kind of goes down the terraced mountainside. There's quite a few washer people, men and women there, including 3 orcs. And they kind of like they eye you with the kind of intensity of like you just walked into like a community bonding session and they don't quite know you, but they know of you, so you're allowed to stay. Give me a quick persuasion check.
I forgot what that bonus is. Persuasion.
Oh, no. Where'd it go? Why did it do this to me? Oh, I put them. Oh, damn. Okay.
Oh damn. Okay, 12.
Yeah, that's enough. That's enough. You're able to secure a spot at the riverside with them, and they will share some of their supplies with you, but in exchange, you're told that you have to help with the chores.
That's easy enough to do.
That's easy enough to do. Yeah, sure.
All right. You've made some friends with the washer people. And the morning proceeds. Actually proceeds well into the afternoon. So, Alistair, I believe you said you needed 4 hours for the tracer rounds?
Yep.
Alright, so let's do some quick math. Yeah, we'll say it's about noon when you finish up the tracer round project.
All right. It's gonna be Smith tools or
So the tracer rounds, they're magical. You know, we're gonna do a tinker tool check. Tinker tool. And I'm going to say use your spellcasting modifier for this one.
all right. So int.
And advantage because I'm helping?
Correct.
All right. So that's a plus 15.
Oh dear God.
First one's a 5.
At this
Second
point, it's
one's
pretty much
17.
just don't roll a 1.
For a total of 32.
Yeah, no flaws detected.
You can finish the casings, and as the buckshot, the shotgun shells start to cool off, just kind of look them over. Well, there's no way to really test them without actually firing them off, so there's only 12 of them. I'm content to think that they work.
I think so.
Think so? Excellent.
Okay. It is noon. You can, if you like, you can break for your lunch, or you can work on your next project as
So,
things proceed.
the rifle.
Yep.
Under the gun chart, it just says crafted, and it does not give a rarity or a gold price, so I don't know how long it will take to craft.
That is a very good point. Let me investigate. Okay, so this was bad news, correct?
Oh, and I found my bullet mold information. It was definitely where it belongs, under my biography.
That checks out. You can make a separate journal entry if that helps.
I will eventually, yeah.
Alright. Yeah, feel free if you want to make one, or we can put it into the to-do background list thing.
Well, I also know where it is now, so I don't have to...
Well, yeah.
I'm going to say, looking at the comparable pricing,
10,
we're going to say the crafted price is...
It's a rifle, right?
Yeah.
Like a hunting rifle?
Kind of. Is there a reference you're looking at?
Look at a DMG, and it does not give a...
Oh, no. We've got a... in the game, we've got a firearms chart that lists the basic prices for a lot of the different things here.
Yeah, it just doesn't list the one for bad news. It says crafted.
Or rarity, for that matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to say that is... We're going to price that at 300 gold. So that puts it at the same rough level as a blunderbuss and a musket, but it serves a very different purpose.
Does this count as a common or uncommon item?
Technically, it's not a magic item, but for crafting purposes... For crafting purposes, this would be considered uncommon.
Uncommon. One moment, I might have something to help with that.
How do I edit this chart?
Okay, so the Quicksilver Bracers, they have a speed buff for common. Let's see, it's common magical items. It's not uncommon.
Dang it, cat.
Not 10th level yet. Okay, no, that's going to be a no-go. So, at 300 gold, Alistair's going to spitball ideas with Say. Even under ideal circumstances, a project like this is going to take approximately 15 hours if we're going full bore.
Well, if we can just finish the bigger bits, I can work on it while we're on the road.
Oh, certainly. We can get done as much as we can now.
As many hours as you'd like to spend.
Spend the second half of the day on it. 4 hours.
That works.
Alrighty. That is going to be a smithing check. With advantage.
One moment.
It was 15 hours, right?
15 hours, yeah. So, I'll make that check, and let's hope we roll high. That's going to be a +7. Woof.
Can I
tricks for this.
assist?
Assistance will give me advantage.
Yeah.
And as a reminder, there are 2 in the pool if you need to reroll.
I'm going to reroll. The 19 on die +7 is 26.
Okay, sounds good. That will probably get you the barrel and some of the larger metal pieces done. Well, for 12 hours, yeah, that's probably going to be spent mostly on the barrel.
Yeah. Because it needs to be rifled and all that.
Yeah. Okay. So, in the afternoon, everyone else, what are you up to? Jaeger, you said you wanted to make some jewelry, right?
Yes. With her there, Jaeger's gonna confirm that Say does want some of the stuff that he's offering.
Yeah.
So what?
Say's looking for, like, I don't know what it's actually called. Let me try and Google it. It's like the pin that people, like a cloak pin that like has like the little
Brooch?
dangly. Yeah, sort of.
A slightly different kind
It's
of
on
brooch.
it's on mages a lot. Like they have like the one on one side and one on the other side, and there's like a dangly bit in the middle.
Yeah, I know exactly. I can picture it.
I think they're called chain brooches. Let me double check.
I'm satisfied calling it a chain brooch for now.
Yeah, chain brooch.
Did you mean?
Hell
chain
yes.
brooch?
Yes, that is exactly it. Yes.
Okay.
To go on her leather jacket with this spider-themed mantle. Yes.
Jaeger's, the list is there, so take off whatever you need.
Okay, so Jaeger, would you like to try and craft this, or are you going to try and get someone to craft it for you?
Checking. I don't have a jeweler's tools. I'm not proficient in that. I can try if Say wants to laugh at Jaeger's attempts to impress her.
As a bard, can you add half of your proficiency?
Yeah, that I have jack of all trades.
Might be worth it for the laugh. Actually, no, he's got a pretty high dex, so you might actually do pretty well.
Just in case.
One left in the pool.
Well, also I have like so much stuff, so much raw, so let's go for it.
Okay. You're going to attempt to craft a chain brooch yourself to present to Say.
Yeah, Jaeger doesn't have chain, so he's gonna have to get that, but everything else.
I would say with the materials you have available, you could probably fashion one claw each to be the fasteners on either side of the cloak, and then chain together the teeth on a wire that links them together. So it's pretty much just dangling teeth forming the chain, linking the 2 claws together. But yes, this is going to be in lieu of Tinker Tools, it's going to be a dexterity check.
Is Say helping, or is she just chilling?
I think she's working on the rifle.
Okay.
He's working. If you want to borrow jeweler's tools, Alistair has a set.
Oh yeah, why not just get those from Alistair?
You'll break him, right? You'll give him back the same state you found him?
I will not break them. I promise.
Promise is a promise!
Jaeger looks into the camera.
Incidentally, Jaeger, if you want assistance, you could always try to find someone to help you make some jewelry.
He's with smithing and jeweling, and you're banging stuff, right? Yeah, you do the thing. He's got this.
As you gather
Filled with dread.
some supplies, you sit down in the little cozy area next to the forge because you don't need access to all the heavy stuff. And as Konane watches you over her cards, you go ahead and try to craft the chain brooch.
So dex check. What am I adding for the tinker skills?
So you have tools that are going to allow you to do this effectively, which is good. It's going to be a dexterity check. You have Jack of all trades, so that allows you to roll to add half your proficiency. So we'll start with a dexterity check.
23.
Well, shit. Yeah, I'm going to say over the course of the hour, you're able to put together this necklace. So mark off, reduce your claws by 2 and reduce your teeth by... Let's see, as I try to figure out appropriate set, 5.
Okay.
Say's outfit gets any more like interesting, she's gonna start rolling charisma checks. I don't know, with different numbers.
Just gain proficiency in intimidation.
Yeah, something like that.
All right. So Jaeger, you can add a wyvern brooch to your inventory until you're ready to give it to Say. And you and Konane have been kind of hanging out in the forge, doing your own things. You still have a lot of time before the others look like they're done with their work. If there's anything the two of you would like to do.
Do another one. Who else wants a brooch? Jaeger's gonna tap the earring. Sound excited. Guys, I did a thing. Do you want jewelry? Do you want a brooch? I'm making stuff. I've never did this before, but it's kind of fun.
Let's see. Taliesin would still be washing at this time.
They
Cool.
want to make one for your girlfriend? Your second girlfriend?
My what?
Sarah.
Why do people keep saying that?
It's a dog. Do you want one for Vera? Do you want to give her something?
I think she would enjoy it greatly,
flustered
actually.
How flustered would this make you, Say?
I think she'd be very distracted.
Okay.
What's that foil? What's that foil?
I'm gonna need a concentration check.
Sure.
It's just going to be a constitution roll.
Saving throw?
Nope, it's just straight roll.
12.
Okay, you're good.
Just
Okay.
swung in the point. Oh, good.
What?
Great.
Oh, sorry. I just banged the shit out of my hand.
You're good.
Oh, I just banged the shit out of my hand. So we're not, anything official. We've made that is not, but I think she would enjoy one. Yes.
Jaeger, you
Inside
should
check.
not joke when Say is handling heavy equipment.
That's a natural 2, so we're just gonna roll with that. Efficient. Oh goodness gracious, companies just humans.
Do you want one? Does Blinko want one?
Hip necklace?
Jaeger's asking Kanane.
Oh,
Congratulations.
Okay, Jaeger's gonna try to make.
Go ahead, try another one.
Rolling again. Using the one in a pool.
Go for it.
Much better.
All right. You can knock out another 2 claws and 5 teeth.
And then maybe, how long would this take? Does he have time for another one?
Yeah, you have time for another one.
All right, we're gonna try to make another one. 11.
Okay. I'm going to say this one's not quite pretty.
Well,
You're
yeah,
not-
he
you're
banged his hand on the last one. His thumb's hurting.
You're not sure if the wire is set in properly, securely, so at some point it might come loose, but for now it's holding together.
Give that one to a name.
Naughty.
You have crafted several necklaces for yourself to give as gifts. All right, let's see here. Still, this is mostly afternoon work. Kanane, is there anything you'd like to get up to in the afternoon?
Holy sure is hot in here. Goodness gracious.
Okay. Yeah, it is getting kind of warm in there, and this fur is a bit much. So Kanani will let them finish their work and go meander around the town.
Okay. One thing of interest that you note during your town meandering is in the afternoon, Faravax flies down from his perch to the square that Telemon had set himself up in. Do you head over in that area?
I'm curious.
Okay. You head over to that area, and as you approach, you can hear grunts and growls and what you recognize as sounds of giant and draconic. And you kind of peek around the building, and you see that Faravax and Telemon are having a kind of a conversation. Both are standing. Roll me an insight check.
Sure. That's a 16.
Okay. Their postures don't look aggressive. You're not entirely sure what they're conversing about, but the dragon and the giant are definitely having a conversation.
Well, there's no point of eavesdropping if I can't understand what they're saying.
And you meander through the village once more. You do catch sight of Bergamot every now and then.
I waved at him.
He bows at you and disappears behind a rooftop.
Anytime I see him, I will wave at him and basically be like, I saw you.
You do pass by like some dogs, some cats, some other goats that are being guided by what looks to be pet owners taking their goats out for a walk. But Bergamot's the only one that you see that seems to be traversing the rooftops. So, Taliesin, you spend most of your morning helping out with washing and taking care of your clothes. As afternoon starts to roll around, what do you do?
Once I finish my clothes and finished helping out like I said I would, I would head back to the communal area.
Okay. Along the way, you do notice Konane wandering the town, exploring, checking in on things. You hear the clatter of hooves above you somewhere as Bergamot moves by. Not very stealthily, but
Yeah, I'm gonna keep
away from the goat of questionable origins.
He's a friend.
He's a friend that
He's a friend that just shows up everywhere and is ethereal in a way that is just unpleasant.
I mean, that's your opinion.
Allison
summons Fae creatures all the time. He looks at this thing as though it were Fae, but more evil.
That's called Eldritch.
He deals with Fae all the time, but the goat scares him.
Goats eat everything. Fae at least try to trick you into something before.
Fae have rules, goats have none.
That's where he's coming from right now.
Become ungovernable.
Become ungovernable. Become Bergamot.
All right.
Become goat.
So what would you like to do up at the communal hall?
I'm quickly gonna get changed out so that my Mareki travel clothes are off. And since I didn't really get them dirty, I'm gonna fold them up. And I'm gonna check on Mirai and assume that she's still asleep.
She is. It looks as though she hasn't stirred all that much since you left her in the morning. The food has been kind of set off to the side, ready for you to reclaim.
I will
sigh softly, turn myself into a bear, wolf down the food, and then after a minute, change back. And I will quickly write a small letter, or take a piece of paper and some charcoal, and just say, you've been sleeping a lot. Take a shower. Here's some spare clothes that you can use while you get other stuff washed. And I'll have that note set on top of the travel clothes, which will also have the Marini hood with it.
Okay.
And then I will. I guess I'll just
sit down in the room for a while and short rest.
All right. You do have. You rest. You have plenty of time to take care of this. Twinkle, is there anything in particular that you would like to spend the afternoon on? Or just continue manufacturing potions for the town?
I continue with that. It's useful. It keeps me from finding out who else is getting in trouble.
Alrighty, that sounds good.
Bird isn't doing her job keeping an eye on the fox.
The bird isn't getting caught up in what the fox is doing because that's going to happen.
Having a blind eye. It's called plausible deniability, babe. Twinkle knows what's up.
Alright. 4 p.m. Yeah, about 4 p.m. rolls around. Alistair, let's have your... Actually, no, you already rolled your smithing check, so never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're actually going to apply a little more time. It's about 4:30 when you finish up the large metal pieces for Say's project. So with that done, you have some more time to do things in the evening. What would everyone like to proceed with this late in the day?
Let's see. So,
Relatively late.
mechanically, it's 4 p.m. Say and I have been crafting for about 8 hours.
Yeah.
We could continue crafting, but it's going to start incurring con checks.
Yeah, I was about to say we're starting to get we're getting to the point where we're starting to get in that project where we're grumpy and tired and a little hot and maybe start
Sure.
snipping and.
Listen, if you want the tongs, take the tongs. I'll make new tongs. I'm sorry. I came out of nowhere. You can have the tongs. I'm sorry.
Right, I think we're done.
I think we're done. Let's wrap this up.
Jaeger's gonna walk over at hearing that and put his hand on Alice's head, while presenting Say with one of the good brooches.
This is beautiful, Jaeger. Thank you. I think I need to go jump in that pond that was mentioned.
You're welcome.
Pond does sound good. The pond does sound good. There are no crabs. There might be mussels.
I mean, definitely the hot springs for, like, comfort, but also it is 8 million fucking degrees in here, and I think I just need to jump into freezing cold water.
That's a good idea. Hold that thought. I'll wrap things up. I'll meet you there.
Sounds good.
Snap gesture and finger guns that say as I begin to clean up. Make sure I don't leave any of my goddamn tools in this goddamn workshop because they're my goddamn tools.
Jaeger's gonna help give back his goddamn tinker's tools.
Oh, you've given them, and he just quickly starts to look over the tools one by one, just to
They're not
scrutinize them.
broken.
No, I didn't say they were broken. I'm just making sure that they're not.
One looks a little dinged.
Well done, Doctor. I didn't trust you, but you've proved me you're surprisingly deft with your fingers, and I should have trusted you more.
You didn't trust me.
I just thought, your hands are so big. They're so very big.
We've been working for a lot of hours. No one should be talking to anyone at this point.
Yes, you know what? I will sing your praises at the pool, and I'm going to zip it so I don't say anything offensive, because I have become crispy.
At about this time, Kanani probably would have meandered back to see if they were anywhere near done.
Good. That means Kanani could see Jaeger pick Alistair up just to turn him and face him in the opposite direction, while saying, "Not only am I dexterous with my hand, I am also quick on my feet, and I'm going to do a stealth check to disappear."
Behind Alistair? You're using him as the shrub to hide behind?
Jaeger's going to hopefully just be gone if this check goes right.
So
I can't wait to see this.
I'm going to have to say this is at disadvantage because this is in the middle of a busy forge, and there's a lot of people here.
That's fine, because this is a joke.
We'll go for it. You knock over a barrel of metal rods that are used for, like, I don't know, something in this town, as you, like, stumble out of the forge.
Oh, there goes the rebar. Oh, gosh.
Actually, Jaeger knocks it over and still, like, tries to hide behind it. So it's just, like, on hands and knees looking over the barrel.
You see Vada point at you. Oi, Giantkin! You better pick everything up.
Yeah.
What did I look back on? Are
We're-
you done? Is it
we're-
playtime?
Yes, we are all very crispy, and we are going to go jump in the freezing cold pond.
Oh.
I think that's the plan.
Yeah,
We're not even going to make it to the hot springs. We're just going to go to that pond.
That is very fair. Do you tell anyone else what you're doing?
I mean, if they see us on the way out.
You got earrings.
Yeah, you got earrings.
Only work if you use them.
Yeah. We're just gonna
Well, half the party's here. We're just missing Taliesin and Twinkle, right?
put it over the earrings. All right, we're gonna go jump in a lake.
Lake? Sure, where? Where the fuck are you guys?
Yeah, at the foot.
Okay. I'll head that way.
These are probably just head to the lake.
It's not even really a lake. It's just like a pond
No,
connected
jump
to
in
the
a lake
stream.
is a turn of phrase. I was making a joke.
Go soak our heads in a pond.
I just don't want it. I don't want anyone to be set up for false expectations.
No, it's definitely like a fucking cow pond.
Yeah.
And they're just overheated and fried.
They're just fried.
I have worked in a forge for like 10 minutes, and I was like, no, it's too hot. It's too hot for any of this.
Mm-hmm. So by the time you walk out of the refuge, all of you who are choosing to go for a dip, things do feel considerably cooler. Even though it is the height of summer, you are high up in the mountains, and it is breezy. You also catch sight of something peculiar. There seems to be a crowd of orcs gathered around one of the hills, just southeast of the town. There seems to be a kind of a big gathering, kind of a loose ring. And you can see over their heads, it looks like, at first glance, it looks like Telamon and Faravax are fighting.
Pro wrestling.
Wait. Is Talon like floating of his own power, or is he like? I'm confused.
Not floating. You see over the heads of the orcs, because Faravax and Telamon are both very large.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. I heard over the head, and I thought in air,
No worries.
rather than they're around
people fighting on the ground.
people fighting on the ground. Got it.
Yep. Do you all veer over to investigate?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
What's all this then?
Alright, yeah, so, alright.
Should maybe referee whatever's going on there.
Do you think they're fighting for dinner?
Oh no, we've taught them bad manners.
As you head over to them, you catch sight of a familiar figure, as Vera seems to be there among the orcs watching this, the two of them go at it.
What is going on over here?
Oh, there you are. I was wondering where you were for most of the day.
The forge?
That would explain why you are all... And she looks over you. Glowing today.
Yeah, I'm sweaty as hell. We were gonna go jump in the pond.
Oh, that sounds like fun. She seems completely unperturbed by what's happening beyond her, even though you can feel like tremors in the ground, and you're hearing growls from both of the large creatures. And now that you're this close, you see Telamon is currently shirtless. His dark-skinned. There's a few. They look like shallow cuts with just some light bleeding, but nothing deep. And you see, as he and Faravax separate, they go at each other again. You see Faravax leaping up and then down upon Telamon, who kind of grapples him and holds one of his forelegs up. Faravax tries to bring up a hind leg, and Telamon quickly kicks it to the side and regains his stance and kind of twists off to the side. And just watching them go at it for a moment or two, you realize they're not going for killing blows.
They're wrestling.
Right, so the giant and the dragon are sparring?
Vera nods. I am not sure who was the first to broach the subject, but they seem to be enjoying each other.
They
Or
are
at least
fighting
the
together.
challenge that they are presenting to one another. Was that Alistair?
Maybe they are fighting for dinner. You know, like we fight for dinner, but it's really
It's a-
just for fun.
Really terrible thing to introduce to people that we will never stop.
I think it is a delightful tradition. Also would ensure that I get first choice of the meals should I ever go traveling with you.
I don't know, I'm currently unbeaten.
Vera smirks a little bit. Oh, I think I could cow you.
I'm gonna go jump in the pond.
Stay about, faces, and marches off.
Don't you want to see how it comes out? Oh, well.
Vera chuckles and turns. They have been going at this for some time already. They take periodic breaks before going back at it, so I think this will last a little while longer.
Oh. All right then.
I am getting the impression that this is a rare opportunity for both of them.
I suppose blowing off steam doesn't come easy. If Fairfax has to fight or anything, it's probably, because his life depends on it. And same would go for Telemon.
It is interesting. I have not heard of cloud giants being particularly physical. The Telemon is certainly something to look at, yes?
Can I have a little insight check into Telemon?
Sure.
I was gonna say, Klinko's gonna hear that comment and give Vera eyebrow waggles.
Vera grins.
23.
23. What are you trying to determine?
I want to know, after what Vera said about cloud giants not being particularly violent, I want to know what he's getting out of this. Is this like he's being hazed and this is just him putting up his side of the, well, I'm the guest here and I guess I got to do what, he wants to fight, I got to fight, or is there something more to it? What is he fighting for?
I want to roll an insight check too.
Go for it.
I'm running off the theory that he's just blowing off steam because he's pissed off about being a slave and having his castle grounded, but
That's an 18, and basically Kanani's trying to get a feel for, are they making friends? Is this a good thing?
Okay. Alright, so with a 18, Kanane watching them, you have an interesting perspective because you have both human and animal instincts. What your instincts are telling you is it looks like Faravax is not fighting seriously. This is not a duel to the death. It's not a territorial fight. He almost looks like he's playing, but it's also kind of terrifying to think of a dragon playing. It looks like, to you, it looks like Telemon is engaged with this kind of play. It looks like, yeah, you've seen people kind of wrestle with their pets in a similar way, but in this situation, you're not entirely sure who would be the pet or if you would use pet to define either of them.
Yeah. Okay. No, that makes sense.
Alistair, you can see There is a sort of resoluteness in Telemoth. He doesn't wrestle savagely at all. He's very composed and focused. And you recognize the expression on his face and how he keeps throwing himself into the test. You've seen it on faces of people in the forge, just the kind of focus you get from just this physical labor, this sense of release and euphoria of pushing yourself. He doesn't seem to be losing himself to the violence so much as he's getting exercise.
Okay, cool. Well, I
So
don't know who to root for.
blowing off steam is appropriate.
I'm tempted to possibly like make this a better show.
Enlarge, Jaeger.
Hooray!
Also, the whole thing was like, do you think they'd want to like mess around as the same size? Because I could either make Talmon the same size. I could either enlarge Talmon or reduce Farrell.
Oh no! Oh no!
I think Faravax would be offended if he got
Yeah,
reduced.
and probably offended if
Telemon
got bigger.
Yep.
Yeah.
It would be something I would say out loud enough that they'd probably be able to hear me. Like, put it in their court.
Klinkle, if you like, you can roll an insight check.
They seem to be like I said, like wrestling. So it's less.
It's like somebody playing with a big tiger.
That's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. You figure Faravax would 100% object to being reduced. In regards to Telemon being made bigger, you're seeing a dragon more or less at play, and he's working with a creature that's close to his own size. This seems like he's taking advantage of a rare opportunity. You think, well, also knowing Faravax, you would probably want to introduce the idea instead of just, like, doing it.
No, I wouldn't plan on just doing it. I was literally planning on, like, saying it out loud, like, asking the people around me loud enough that they could hear me and, like, chime in if they decided to.
Oh, the orcs around you would definitely love to see a larger fight once they have the intention translated for them.
Oh, loud enough that Faravax and Telemon can hear me and possibly chime in if they wanted to.
You would probably have to make a determined effort to try and flag them down as they are engaged with one another. Do you flag them down? Wait for their attention?
I'll wait for them to like come to a waiting point between like when they like break off.
Okay. That happens very soon, as it seems like they'll back off, then kind of engage with one another and twist and wrestle and roll, and then back off again. So you do get a moment's pause.
I see you nudging those tokens a little onto the map.
So how do you approach? Do you still try to feign the maybe if they overhear me? Or do you approach them directly?
I'll go with the overhearing thing because again, Faravax seems like the type that like if it's his idea, he'd be more interested in it.
Interesting. Okay. So you repeat yourself a little louder, and Faravax, being nearer to you, begins to kind of paw at the ground, and he kind of turns his head over to regard you for a moment, then looks back over at Telamon. And he paws at the ground again, and he bares his teeth in what looks as close to a grin as a dragon can make. And he starts growling in Draconic at Telamon. And some of you do speak Draconic, don't you?
I don't think anybody does.
No,
because
Draconic
this
was
isn't
like,
loose
yeah,
cannons.
loose cannons, like everyone speaks Draconic, but in
Yeah.
Shadows.
I mean, if I could catch
Yeah,
some
no.
words by knowing Primordial, maybe, but
Okay, so who's
Anyone heard it was comprehend languages.
are you using comprehend languages?
No, I'm just saying the last time any one of us heard anything in Draconic in this game was comprehend languages, and I think it was Jaeger.
Got it. So he growls in Draconic at Telamon, who kind of plants his hands on his hips as he's catching his breath, and Telamon looks over at you, Clinkle.
You, little one, you have magic that can alter one's size.
I'll nod at him. The spell only lasts a minute, but it can up you a size category or reduce a size category.
As soon as you say reduce, you start hearing a growl from Fairfax, and Telamon chuckles.
If you are willing, I believe our host would like to make the most of this minute as possible. He mentioned that it was rare to come across a creature of his own size.
Across very many things nearly as large as either of you.
You should count it lucky that you haven't.
And he'll gesture you forward.
What do you need for this magic?
Is he asking about like components or what have you?
Yeah, just if you require anything to cast it.
A pinch of iron powder. Concentration for a minute. Well, concentration while it's going.
Well, you use a focus, don't you? Yeah, so... Yeah, it looks like Telamon is inviting you to use your magic on him.
Then, when they are ready, I will cast Enlarge on Telamon to give them the best minute for their wrestling. Technically, I could do it 3 times if they wanted to really go at it.
Alright. You cast your spell. Telamon grows in size. And you see Fairvax lower himself down, and you see his tail start to sway back and forth as his back legs start to claw at the ground.
Oh, goodness. We should take a few steps back, I think.
This will be a fight for the ages.
And
Yep, sure.
they both charge at each other, and they spend the next minute going full ham on each other. It's hard to say exactly who has the advantage, since Telamon seems to have more brute strength, whereas Fairvax is able to twist in ways that Telamon can't. And they are both very large, heavy creatures, so when they strike the ground, it rumbles. So you can stay as long as you like to watch them go. But eventually you all decide to head to the pool and cool off.
You're gonna watch the whole thing. This is amazing.
I got
Say,
you
if
for
we were
a
on
minute.
slightly better speaking terms with Fairfax, I totally would have told him Why would I want to see less of your magnificent production?
He does understand common.
Well, like friendly banter's not quite where we are with Fairfax.
Give it a week. Give it a week.
Yeah, that's next week's project.
I've been told we're endearing.
I mean, you have cleared his home of pests. You just gave him a very delightful challenge for him to play with.
We brought him a friend.
Yeah, as far as making friends with dragons go, you guys are on the right path. Yeah, so these two are probably going to go at it for probably another hour. They'll make full use of however many times you'd like to use your spell. But by the end of the hour, it seems like they've both gotten in some pins, but it becomes evident that neither one is really keeping score, or at least Telamon isn't, and Faravax seems convinced that he's winning. But
That's good advice.
But by the end of their session, they both kind of draw back. Telamon bows deeply to Faravax as Faravax spreads his wings and does a bow as well. Kind of like rears back, lowers his upper body towards the ground. They both give each other a measure of respect, and Faravax begins to beat his wings and climb his way back up to his roost at the top of the refuge to essentially preen himself, make sure his scales are shiny again after all the dirt he's been rolling around in.
Scuffing.
And Telamon just pops a squat right there on the hill. He just sits down, rests his elbows on his knees, and just recovers.
A quick point of order. Say left pretty early on, right?
Yeah.
Alistair probably would have headed off to the pawns like after that minute of enlarge happened. Just long enough to see the spell stop working, and so they're going back to having a good, fun slapping contest, no hard feelings were had.
As soon as Kanani notices Alistair walking away, she'll go and follow him.
Jaeger would stick back with Telamon and congratulate him on a good bout. That looks pretty fun. All that good stuff.
Telamon would nod, engage with you in Giant, which is it's a language you're not accustomed to speaking, so it's kind of nice to find someone who can communicate in like your native tongue.
Oh yeah.
What?
And yeah, from Telamon you learn that this is a good sign. It's been a long time since he wrestled a dragon, and he's pleased with the way things are going. He's also very sore because Ferris dragons are very strong.
Jaeger comments that maybe next time he can take on either one of them.
That earns a deep, hearty chortle from Telamon. All right, jumping to the rest of the party who went to investigate the pond. You find the washer people around a stream that comes down from a pond that's a little further up the hill from them. You can see there are some kids who are going swimming in the lower stream. It's pleasant. It's not very it's not a not very wide stream. It's not like a a strong river or anything, but there's a current, and the pond is broad enough that you can take a dip in.
Perfect. Damn. Yeah, Say will strip down, and then once Alistair arrives, we'll put her guns in his bag so that she can jump in.
Yeah, guns in the bag. Do I have any soap? Oh, goodness gracious, do I have any soap?
I have soap. I
You've got soap.
I stole it from home.
Oh, home soap's the best soap. Well, dibs on after you. And Alistair will. Well, this isn't the first time he's been naked around the party, so he'll strip down, fold his stuff up nice.
Kanani will also take out the bar of soap that she has.
You both have soap.
Alistair.
There's Alistair, butt ass naked. Like, how come you got soap and how come you? But am I the only one who doesn't soap? Is there a soap conspiracy?
I don't have soap.
You do not steal soap when you are visiting someone?
I don't steal.
Yes,
Much.
you do.
Okay, maybe a little.
Perception.
My passive perception?
Yeah.
Disgusting. Passive perception is what? Hold on, that's not right.
By the way, Say didn't strip down to naked. She just stripped down to like boxers and a like underclothes.
Oh,
yeah.
fine. Then
Yeah.
boxers, fine.
He's
He's following the lead. My passive perception is 20.
Yeah, I was going to say that between Say and the kids and the washer people casting glances in your direction between their work, no one is buck-ass naked.
No one is buck-ass naked. Okay,
Alistair's about
I
to
misread
take
the
his
room.
underwear off and just pauses and then doesn't take his underwear off.
Oh, wait a second, this isn't a communal bath. Hold on a moment.
Vera is standing with you with her arms crossed over her chest and an arched eyebrow.
Thumbs at his waistband.
He's just all knees. He's all knees and elbows.
I did not realize it was that kind of swimming trip.
I do not think it was supposed to be.
I am not sure I would recommend such a thing in this kind of water.
There's no problem with the water?
It's cold, is what she's saying.
Oh.
And Say's gonna just jump right in. She's fucking grew up on doing water training in the fucking ocean in the middle of winter. She doesn't care.
Should we save the soap for the hot spring then?
Say, give me a Constitution saving roll.
Sure.
How deep is this water?
20.
Okay. So you leap into the pond, and it is deep enough for you to get like waist deep into it. It is cold. It is bitingly cold. This is a mountain-fed pond in the upper reaches.
Oh, Heather is aware. Heather has swam in such things before.
Yeah, for Say, like the ocean in winter, that is a good comparison. And no one really gets used to swimming in that kind of cold. But with that Constitution saving throw, that shock of it hits you, but you're able to kind of overcome the shock of it and kind of emerge from the water without just completely losing your shit.
So, let me ask then. Say shows no outward signs of discomfort?
No.
Alistair cannonballs in.
Oh no.
He's going to abandon this conversation and scrutiny from Vera, because Vera's going to be mean anyway, because Vera is mean, and Kanani's Kanani, so he's just going to be like, alright, fine, you know, just jump in the water and not take a bath, whatever.
Alright,
Geronimo!
saving throw.
That's Geronimo. Oh, saving throw. I got this. And that one.
No.
For a total of 8.
I mean, I'm pretty sure there's still one in the pool.
No, there's not.
There is not. Jaeger
Jaeger
used them all.
Oh.
Alistair, you black out.
Oh!
Yeah, Say will.
For a brief moment, like, you didn't, like, knock yourself out, but this
I was
water
out of the water, and then I
is
woke up
so
in the water.
cold. Like, all your muscles seize, your entire being is just overwhelmed with this sudden shock, and you just, like, seize up.
Yeah, Say
how
is
deep is this
swimming.
water?
Yeah, Say is over to him in like a minute. Like,
Well, like, Jaeger would have joined them ASAP, like after meeting.
This is happening before you
Oh.
get over there, Jaeger.
Yeah,
That's
you're still
unfortunate.
watching.
yeah.
Yeah. So, Alistair, when you surface and you find yourself being towed to shore by Say, and you have to kind of force your limbs to move. Your teeth are chattering. This is the coldest water you have ever been in.
Alright, so Alistair's like hugging himself as he's getting like ushered towards shore and kind of like resisting
Kanani will take
being
off
pushed towards shore.
the cloak when he's on shore and put it on him.
Say will straight up like just bridal carry him out of the water. She don't give a fuck.
No, it's great.
Vera is laughing.
Sorry, it is a bit cold.
Well, this one gets points for courage, that is for certain.
Maybe we should go to the hospital.
Redheads and rash decisions.
I just imagine him just like cannonballing into the water. It's just floating up like a piece of ice just balled up, just floating.
Like a cartoon, he's completely frozen, just
Just
bobbing in
fucking
the water.
frozen.
It was at that moment he realized he fucked up.
Right, you are from Lyon and did not do winter ocean exercises.
Well, no. Only the one which is pretty cold. This is ridiculous.
So sometimes Mareki will get into a light armor and prepare for practicing a beach landing in the middle of winter, and that's pretty similar to this.
Oh, okay. So it's saying is I'm the quarter of Mareki now. I lived.
You are definitely a quarter Mareki.
Alright, good enough for me. I like the towel. It's a towel. I'll
Well,
for a towel.
Kanani definitely put her cloak around him to try and warm him up.
Yeah,
Okay.
I imagine like all your friends are putting their cloaks around you.
I'm fine. I'm really fine. This is great. This is much better than the Forge. For sure.
It definitely feels much better than the Forge.
You don't even feel the cold anymore. You don't even feel the cold anymore.
Oh no.
Nah, you're fine. Just really
Rob the player knows what that means.
Don't worry, I did not give you instant pneumonia. You're just freezing your balls off right now.
Oh, fantastic.
Vera, meanwhile, strips down to her undergarments and enters the pool a lot more gradually. She is a very exceedingly toned woman.
Say's gonna dunk her head under the water again.
Kanane, do you head in as well, or do you tend to Alistair?
Oh, she's not swimming in that. That's too cold. Absolutely not. No, she knows better.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely
The water's
not.
great.
Especially after Alistair basically dying again. No, she'll like rub his shoulders and try and get his body temperature back up.
Jaeger, by the time you make it over to the pond, you can see Say and Vera they're in the water. They're having a good dip. Alistair is on the shore, covered in cloaks with Kanane next to him. By this time, Alistair, you can feel your limbs again.
Oh, good. I need those.
Are you okay?
Oh yeah. Just water is a little more chilly than I thought it would be, but I'm fine. I'm good. I'm great.
He's better than he was.
Jaeger's gonna nod carefully to Kanane, and then strip himself down to skivvies before getting in.
Okay. Taliesin, what have you been up to at the pond while everyone has been having an experience?
Just
watching.
Because
I had already gotten cleaned, and I know what mountain spring water is like from travel. So I wasn't about to
Spend your morning like washing stuff in the stream this pond is connected to. You knew exactly what people were getting into.
Yep.
And I said nothing.
I would have. As there would have been a thought of going in,
but as say Dr. Head under the water, once Vera was getting in, it's like, yeah, third wheel feelings, and then Jaeger showed up at just the right time to prevent Taliesin from leaving.
So he's just
sitting there and looks over
Jaeger.
at Jaeger. You know,
You should just
you just cannonball them out of the water. It'll be fine.
But why would I do that? There's two pretty ladies over here playing in the water. That's like the guy's best dream. What are you doing? Come in the water and join me.
ass if you continue down that line of thought, Jaeger.
You can try.
I will.
Oh no.
Oh my.
See,
I believe this is our dinner match right now.
Jaeger always
Also,
loses,
Jaeger,
though.
Also, Jaeger, if you jump in with the pond with a big cannonball, you'll get Konane wet. She's kind of hiding from the water.
Kanane would actually fireball me.
I will
that'd be
fire
yeah,
out
that'd
to
be
warm
warm up.
myself up. No, do not.
Fireball the ground at her feet. Meta magic herself immune to the flames.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Jaeger's already stalking to the two ladies, rears back and pushes a huge wave of water at them.
The mighty clap of the hands.
Just cast tsunami.
That's a spell. That's an actual spell.
I don't have that one.
Give it time.
Vera scowls and goes to retaliate, but pauses. Oh, lightning would not be a good idea right now.
Please don't do anything with lightning now.
She just nods soberly. Knowingly, even.
Seeing that Jaeger's
offensive did not go as well as was hoped.
Talison's gonna run at the edge.
Jump, and then shift into a giant bear.
Oh no.
Oh,
Cannonball into the
Cannonball into the pond.
No good can come from this.
Alright, so giant bear constitution save.
I cast banishment on him before he hits the.
Oh no!
Oh,
That's not a reaction.
It's an act. It's an
It's
action.
an action, not a reaction.
Not a reaction.
Yeah,
I'm being that guy.
Yeah, you are. That's okay.
You know what? Let me have a, I need dexterity checks from both of you.
Okay.
Just to see
Who's quicker on the draw?
Yeah.
That is
So that's a 22.
18.
That's a 22.
18.
Okay. Taliesin cannonballs. The water goes everywhere. And Taliesin, what was your constitution save?
14.
14.
14.
Yeah, going off of the ground.
Yeah,
going off of the ground.
You're even through the bear's layers. You immediately start shivering and shattering. You don't black out. You don't have. You don't quite seize up, but you are immediately freezing rather. And yeah, Kanana, you went to cast your spell to try and get him before he got you. Could not get it fast enough as the wave of water, a wave of water crashes into you and Alistair. And Clinkle, I assume you were on the shore as well?
Probably.
Yeah.
Put my hood up.
Thankfully, the shock of the cold is not as bad as if you had dived in yourself. But everyone gets doused.
I get that look of like wet crow, wet bird, spiky feathers everywhere.
Really, the water's not that bad.
It's really not. I don't know why everyone's freaking out.
Is Taliesin, like, visible? Like, is he, like, just chuffed?
Oh yeah, I mean...
I cast Banishment on him.
Just a spite.
Yes! I can do it twice.
Alright, Taliesin, that's a charisma saving throw, I believe?
Yep.
Yeah, that's not gonna win.
Yeah, that's not gonna win.
I
rolled a 2 and my charisma is
3. So 5.
3. So 5. Roll a 5. No other bonuses.
Pop. It just vanishes.
See how you like that.
And then she will prestidigitate the water off of herself. And by the time she's done prestidigitating the water off of herself, it will be a minute and the spell would have ended.
Let Taliesin go!
Taliesin!
And Jaeger's gonna look under the water for him.
Once he reappears,
Once on timeout.
He has to place water equal to his mass.
So
Yeah,
as he reappears, there's
another splash.
That is true. There is, and with not as much force, because it's not a.
Not momentous.
Yeah.
It's not momentous, but you do push water back out as you pop back in. Give me another Constitution saving throw because you were out of the water recovering for a minute and then suddenly water again.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Okay, it's not so bad this time.
It doesn't hurt that
brown bears are permanent Arctic climate anyways, so.
Oh, but that water when you first jumped in was freezing. So you're back in the water. At that point, Vera decides they're probably better off to dry off on the shore and.
No, come back.
Doctor, how are you still in there?
Same way
I know I said the water's fine. I know I said it was fine, but it's just weird now.
It's not that bad, Alistair.
And if I recall correctly, I believe the Goliaths have cold resistance.
That is correct.
I think he's like just rocking in the back of his chair with the biggest grin, like, yep.
He's just reclining at like one end of the pond, just like up to, like he's just completely stretched out, just his head and like the top of his arms visible.
Say's starting to turn blue, but like this is normal for her because of all of her training. So she's just like, yeah, this is what you do.
Say, you're blue. Stop.
Yeah, that happens.
It's not supposed to. It's not normal.
Taliesin comes out of the water
near Konami and Alistair.
I turn,
and then I shake off in front of him.
Oh, for Pete's sake!
Why are you like this?
Taliesin, why are you like this?
The reason why Twinkle didn't dry off yet.
You.
Yeah, Say will climb out and dry herself off with prestidigitation, get dressed again.
Due to you.
At least Alistair has the cloaks over him, so he can just kind of pull them up over himself.
And he's not sharing. He's not sharing.
That's fine.
That's his cloak now.
Kanani's just
All three of them.
prestidigitating again.
He's going into wizard. He's just going to become a wizard now. He has all the cloaks for it.
As you finish your pond adventure and head back into town, you gather your things. You use the walk to kind of like get some heat back into you. You know, do a little jogging steps. It's about 6 p.m. As you head back to town, you see Faravax is still on his perch at the top of town. Telemon is nowhere to be seen outside the walls. He must have retreated back in. The orcs are in a good mood. What do y'all do?
I feel like Say is hyper now that she's been frozen out, overheated and then frozen.
Is the spa still on the schedule, or they are foregoing that?
That's for later in the evening. Is it almost sunset?
It's still a couple hours away from sunset. It's summertime, so you're probably looking at sunset around 8, 9 o'clock.
Well, we've got some time to kill.
Jaeger's gonna present Klinkle with the second Wyvern claw brooch, in case she wants.
Wyvern bone brooch.
Yes, that one.
Here gets sparkly noises out of Klinkle.
Sparkly noises?
Like,
Yes.
like imagine the sound effect that goes along with like sparkles in like a cartoon.
Like chimes and dropped coins.
It seems Klinkle is happy.
You have pleased the bird.
Like not the tooth shine sound from the commercials. 'Cause that's a little menacing for this.
All that matters is that the healer's happy.
I feel like Say and Vera are burning off energy, probably playing tag or something around the group.
Honestly, probably. Say's got the zoomies, basically.
Let's see, where is Elaine? You can give Elaine the other one.
Lane's probably still at Terra. Or not there.
Elaine is somewhere in town. He shows up when he's needed. And when he's not. But with it being 6 p.m. at the refuge, the party does have plenty of time to
We could
do whatever you like.
we could show them where we got the moonshine last night.
Yes. Yeah.
I would like to try moonshine.
Absolutely 100% yes.
Okay. Vera leads the party over to the, it's basically a guy's house where he converted the first floor into a cafe. And he is a human with long hair and a long goatee, his hair kind of pulled back into a ponytail. Appetizers are served. It's not even appetizers, like the only food is like dry sausage and goat cheese and bread. So very simple fare. But the moonshine comes in bespoke tankards. It's still pretty early in the evening, so the usual crowd of like 3 people haven't shown up.
So we just take over the entire first floor.
Pretty much.
The breeze will warm you up.
It will, actually.
There is a fire in the fireplace. And, go ahead.
Alistair, be careful. This water is very spicy. This may be the spiciest water you ever drank.
Actually, this is spicy apple juice.
Alistair goes to answer Jaeger and then kind of looks at Say and does this squinting. Like, his face squeezes up like he licked a lemon. I know what moonshine is. But is it actually made of apples?
Yeah, you want to try? You want to try?
I mean, it probably beats the spicy water from back in the Red Dark District.
I bet.
I mean, it doesn't taste like water, so yes, it does.
I mean, neither does vodka, but she'll hand over her.
Well, I mean, vodka's closer to water than most other alcohols, though.
She'll hand over the apple pie for Alistair to taste.
It's specifically apple pie moonshine. Oh
yes.
God, no!
Yes, it is.
I would die here.
That was established. Yes.
It tastes like a tart apple pie with notes of blackberries.
Alistair gives it a sniff and he takes a swig.
You can.
I can say.
You can keep that one if you like it. I can get another one.
No, it's quite good, but it's a little hot. It's a little hot.
It's not that strong. It goes down pretty smoothly.
Are you drinking the same moonshine that I'm drinking?
Probably the version that I make, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
It's definitely
yeah.
warm your belly.
It'll warm you.
All right,
It'll warm you.
Alistair will hold on to it and he will nurse on the tankard.
Sure. Say we'll get her a new one.
I was actually hoping Alistair started to throw up, so I knew this was a strong, good stuff that made you see things that you never thought you would.
I don't know if alcohol does that.
What are you drinking, Megan?
The good stuff.
That sounds
Turpentine?
terrible.
If your moonshine wasn't made in someone's spittoon, then you're not drinking the right stuff.
Right. I'll stick with this. It tastes good.
Yes,
Like
it
yours
is like
had
Jaeger's laughing because he's joking.
it is like a treat, but it's liquid.
No, it is dessert-esque.
So, question. Just because I would like to stir shit, we did not stop for lunch while we were working.
We didn't.
Kanani probably would have gotten
Kanani-
herself lunch while she was
Kanani
walking.
Kanani definitely got lunch, but the three who were working in the forge did not stop for lunch. So that's a
Yeah.
thing.
That's actually along the lines of where I was going.
Are you snacking or are you drinking straight? There are snacks here.
with
Kanani's
this
definitely
moonshine?
eating. Kanani's definitely eating the snacks
Hold up, you said it was bread and cheese?
And sausage.
and dried sausage.
Okay, that might actually
protein.
help a little bit. That might help a little bit, but not much.
Not much in
No.
your case, Alistair.
No,
I
not
need
much.
a Constitution saving throw when you get halfway through the tankard.
Sure.
For Say and Jaeger, it'll be at the end of your first drink.
Yep.
Has anyone mentioned that they
Mention
haven't
that they haven't
eaten
eaten lunch yet.
I don't think
I
Say would
mean-
mention it.
Alistair would be snacking as though he had not eaten yet. But I mean,
He's a growing boy, though. He's always
he's a
snacking.
growing boy. He's always eating bread for some guys. It's always bread.
A growing boy in his early 20s.
What's funny is
Jaeger found the good shit.
Apparently.
Let me see what everyone else rolls.
I'm gonna roll a real die just for the funsies of it.
24.
I'm. Squirrely fucker.
Do I have to roll? Or no, I ate. I've eaten. I'm good.
Jaeger is not
Yeah,
the
and
only one that is seriously fucked up.
Oh no. What'd you roll, Say?
I rolled a 2 for a total of 9.
Okay.
So it wasn't a natural 1, but it wasn't great.
it's the same roll as Jaeger in total, but
Yeah.
that nat one.
Actually, Alistair, give me one more Constitution saving throw as well.
Another one?
Yes.
Well, you're if you're making it through the whole thing, you need to roll twice.
Sir, you drive a hard bargain.
The DM wants you fucked up.
I now I just kind of want to see Jaeger and say like fucking tanked, and Alistair like this is nothing.
Jaeger was like, this edible ain't shit.
That's a 5 on die for a total of 12.
Oh no.
Okay. So, Alistair, it's at the end of your drink when you realize this is probably the first time in your life that you're buzzed.
Oh. They feel kind of funny.
Don't stand up.
Don't stand up.
Feeling noodly. A bit noodly. Oh.
This music is perfect for this.
Yes, it is.
My goodness. Is that a saxophone?
If you want a real
If you want a real trip, tap your teeth.
Tap
So,
my teeth.
Jaeger.
Oh!
Jaeger, after joking about the good stuff, there's something about the fruity drink. You drank it too quickly. That's what's really happening with you here. It's you tasted it. This is nothing, and you just kind of like slammed it down and folded your arms and laughed heartily. And by the time Alistair got like halfway through his drink, you were already kind of reeling. Say you felt the buzz growing throughout that drink, and you remembered that you didn't eat much by the time you finished that tankard, and you're really into it.
Well, this is fine. Absolutely fine.
Well, this is nice. Good food and good companions, and this is a very dangerous drink. Push it off to the side.
It is. It is very dangerous. I could drink 2 of these and probably regret it.
Yes, you could.
I was trying to be stealthy earlier. Jaeger says, with his eyes closed, and
You almost got it. You almost got it. If not for that giant barrel full of wrought iron irons, wrought iron irons, you would have. I think you've done very well.
I'm gonna speak up on
Don't,
Tinkle.
no, don't. She startles easy.
I
You know what? Go
Pull out.
for it.
I reach into my bag and pull out the chain of sausages, and I'll rip one off and pull it out the Jaeger. Eat something, please.
It's too late. He is already gone.
He can stop the damage,
He can stop the damage if he eats something.
Oh, he will be fine. He's Jaeger.
Jaeger, you go to try and sneak up on Klinkle.
Yes.
Can I help?
You're unable to help as he goes to stand up and just topples over backwards.
I'd like to check. Oh,
Yeah,
oh no.
I would recommend next time that we don't fall.
They can't see me. I win.
You are so hidden, Jaeger. We have no idea where you went.
I've never seen
Jaeger so small.
Turned my head completely 180 to look straight at him as he snuck up on me. Or tried to sneak up on me.
As he's lying on the floor, you just turn your head backwards to look at him. I don't know. I'd find that kind of alarming.
That's a bit alarming.
Well, the point would have been to, as he's attempting to sneak up, to startle him by doing that.
Just whip your
He
head
did,
around.
yeah, he didn't make it out of the chair.
No, he didn't even.
Missed opportunities.
I mean, he did make it out.
I mean, he did make it out of the chair,
Not
just
in the direction.
He's
not
on
in
the
the
floor
direction he
now.
was supposed
5
to.
steps that were
He got to the
fired.
He got to the floor quicker.
Vera is chuckling. This is the second best night I've spent in this town.
Oh, what was the first?
Last night?
Oh my.
Alistair just scratches his head,
Gives
trying to
no
remember any.
further- gives no
Trying to
further
remember
information.
any specifics about the previous evening. Was there a meteor shower? Was the festival?
Talison's gonna take
Like a swig of half the bottle. He actually ate very well today.
He's
He's
gonna
gonna slowly stand up, and he's just going
to
to leave this conversation
and
and the bar because he can't really be here at this moment.
Conversation over. Taliesin moves.
See you later, Tally. We're gonna try to get together at sundown for the thing. And
Once
maybe.
you all sober up, we can go.
Well, it shouldn't take too long.
I don't actually have to be sober because I can walk on walls and ceiling, so it really doesn't matter what way the room is decided to face.
Kanane just looks at Say like, you have so much confidence, woman.
Yes, say, you can rotate with the room as your head spins.
Head spinning.
Alistair's gonna get up out of his seat, and he's just a little buzzed, right? So he'll dust himself off, and
Yeah, the room's a little wobbly. I'm
Okay.
not accustomed to drinking, so.
This is a new experience. I think I could go for some air.
I will come with you so you do not fall like Jaeger did.
Oh, good. A seeing eye dog. That's what the
Seeing
room's of.
eye fox. And she'll
Fine.
take his hand.
Alistair will walk out and kind of, not saunter, but wobble and try to keep himself together.
You're doing very well.
Of course! I went to college. What do you expect?
But
I
did you
deserved
drink
everything well.
college?
No, but I could have.
This is the first time you have drank this much.
I've been drinking occasionally throughout this entire campaign, and
You have, but you have not finished any of them. I have.
well, you're gonna finish it for me.
I could have finished that one, but you were too quick.
It was very much like a dessert.
It
I
was.
do like sweet things, fortunately. I do have perhaps a single solitary vice that I will admit to, and that would be sweet things. There may be others, but I do not admit to them. That's the important part.
Okay.
Just touch the side of my nose and wink. You have any idea where Emmett is? I have no idea. I should probably find him. He's missing out. I feel a
You
little bad.
left him at the cafeteria place. Where we sleep. He's outside the door. You told him to stay there and be a good boy.
I didn't leave him. He's his own man. He can do what he wants.
He can, but he didn't move. He
I
hasn't
feel
moved.
bad. I feel really bad.
Do you want to go with him?
Yes, I don't want to start crying over a construct companion. Let's go find him and set him free.
Okay, let's go find Emmett.
Okay.
Are we leaving?
He needs to find Emmett.
That's a
You-
choice.
Do you want to leave? You can leave if you want to.
I am fine.
You have a seeing eye elf.
You don't have to leave unless you want to leave. I mean, you're your own person.
I don't have a thing I am.
You have a seeing eye Klinker. I am putting her up to duty. You have this. Right, Bird? Yes? Of course you do. I love you. Bye-bye.
I have at least one more instance of enlarge reduce.
Reduce him and carry him out.
Reduce? Oh my god, that would actually be pretty fun.
I am sorry?
Reducing Jaeger. So that he's like my size.
As Vera looks over at Jaeger, still laid out on the floor, staring up at the ceiling.
Yes, I believe I would very much like this idea.
and with the promise of a very entertaining twist, I think we're gonna pause there for the night. Jaeger drunk off his ass, about to be shrunk down to say size.
Wonderful.
Would technically be smaller.
He'd be the size of a very large gnome. So say size.
So say size.
He's basically going to turn into a really strangely proportioned dwarf.
It's a pity it only lasts for a minute.
Jaeger's going to have an experience that will shake his complete understanding of the universe.
If he remembers it.
Because technically the other option is I make myself large.
Oh no. Well, you can carry both of them under one under each arm.
Big bird.
So, maximum height for a small creature is 4 feet.
Alright, so not quite say sized.
So he would actually be a little bit shorter than say.
So like teens say. Or tweens
Like
say.
teens say, yes. He'd be like Pyria sized.
Pyria's taller than her.
What?
Yes.
Yeah, Say's the shortest in
I
their
forgot
family.
Say was the runt.
Yeah, Say's the runt. Pyria likes to joke that it's all the anger.
It keeps you grounded, you know? It's a short joke, son.
That's a short joke, son. Okay. Well, that was a very relaxing day out for Valor Company.
And yet still somehow completely ludicrous.
I mean,
Those are
yes.
the best kind of days.
As it should be.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Valor Company needs days like those. It helps ground them. Reminds them this is why we're saving the world.
This is why we're doing it, buddy.
I am endlessly amused at this hipster guy who runs his little cafe, and the 7 drunk adventurers in his living room.
This is the most excitement he's had in years.
This is great.
Most of the time it's just like his friends, neighbors coming by. It's a small town.
Everything's great when adventurers are in small towns.
There's all kinds of stuff happening at the refuge, like... Oh, no, cannot... never mind. I might hold that for next time.
What?
The goblins.
Goblins! Have the goblins taken notice of Kanane?
No. I was going to do a retroactive perception check, but I might hold that in my pocket. It's nothing major.
Something that she can notice while she's walking Alistair through the ways.
Well, that's thinking earlier in town.
Yeah, because she was meandering around town.
Yeah, she was the only one who was actually roaming around.
I retcon shit all the time in canon. It's perfectly kosher. Don't worry about it. This happened. Just put it in your cap.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
All I'm saying is don't worry about it. It's between you and God.
Which one?
Yes.
And you are the DM.
Check some numbers real quick before I forget.
So do we have wiggle room for form play?
It's about 2 hours till sundown, so... If anyone wants to squeeze in a bit of play during that time, that's fine.
Milk this experience for all it's worth.
Buzzed Alistair.
Buzz.
It's still only buzz for like a half hour. That's how long a buzz will last.
Yeah, it doesn't last very long, but it's still funny.
Oh,
Find
yeah.
out if he's more.
The first concept was pretty good.
insightful.
More insightful. Do you want to know a secret, Sam?
Sure.
Do you want to know a
Sure.
secret? A secret? Well, I'll hit you when I am.
Alistair has no insight.
He's just got the shitty
Oh my god. I just can't wait.
Can't wait.
I can't wait for that
I
roll.
can't wait
Anyway.
for that roll.
Oh no. Oh no.
It's a secret.
It is. Don't worry,
Don't worry, miraculously.
Talison's probably going to talk to her
Talison's probably gonna talk to her like when I talk to Emmett. It'll be fine.
Emmett's a great listener. Be careful what you say to Emmett. Be careful what you say to Mirai. Just saying. Eventually he's gonna get a squawk box, and if he's actually remembers anything, we're all fucked.
Dexter's a cookie.
Oh my god.
I've come up with the idea of giving him a soundboard by using Magic Mouth.
Oh.
I swear
Just
to God.
20 castings of Magic Mouth.
Like, oh yeah, like the cat boards.
the cat
Or
boards.
the dog boards.
Or the dog boards.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Hey.
And then he outs Konane.
And then he outs
Mad.
Konane.
He's such bad news for Kanane.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
So Say only got slightly tipsy the night before because she had like eaten lunch and stuff. So now Vera has like got drunk Say, drunk Jaeger, and Klinkle.
That's okay. She's swollen
That's
enough.
okay.
She can
She's
carry 'em all.
swollen enough. She can carry them all.
She could if she wanted to.
Rapid.
She'll be
Think she
fine.
wants to? Maybe one of them.
No. She'll only carry Say around. Like the little elf chihuahua she is.
She is a pet German Shepherd. We all know this.
Miniature pincher. Well, thank you all for a game tonight. That was fun.
It was a lot of fun.
Thank you for running game.
Thank you for running game.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you for
Thank you so
game.
much.
It was fun. This was fun.
Yay.
A nice, relaxing time.
Following those last couple threads, this felt like an appropriate amount of harassment. The correct amount of haranguing,
Oh, totally.
for sure.
Yeah, and if people want to go
Yeah,
to
and if you want to go to hot tubs, it's gonna have to happen after.
the
Yeah,
event.
you can do a late night hot spring session or save it as a reward for your next trip. Alrighty, I'm
just-
going to migrate over to I end. Everyone have a good night.
Night.
Good
Peace out,
night.
folks.
Good night.
Bye.